All right, you're good.
Ron?
You are.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're bringing to you live our CBA tournament at Classic Bowl up in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, which you'll be watching right now. We're just starting our match play after our 8 games of qualifying. We started at 9 o'clock this morning. Bowled 8 games of qualifying, 49 bowlers. These are the top 12 who made the cut. We normally would take 1 for 3 making the cut. So we would have had 16 in the cut instead of just 12. But this is part of the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decade series. And what we do is only take 12. We have different formats for the match play. This match play, you're bowling everybody. So you just high score gets 36 extra bonus pins. Second place gets 33, third 30, and so on, where 12th place gets extra 3 bonus pins. How everybody finished today, after our 8 games of qualifying, Matt Payne was our leader at plus 84. Second, David Langer at plus 81. Trae Henrichsmeyer, all the way from the junior bowler, all the way from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, was third at plus 55. That included 128 game 2, so he really came back pretty strong there. Chad Nelson, ever so solid player, used urethane all day for plus 32. Katie Ann Sopp-Schroeder, plus 17, was 5th. Briley Howe, our defending champion here at Classic Bowl, was 6th at plus 10. Thomas Cleveland, 7th at plus 6. Jerry Halldorf, senior bowler from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. This is his first cut in 15 years. Of course, he hasn't bowled a lot of them, but it's still been a long time since he made the cut. He was minus 18. Rob Clements, minus 21, was 9th. Nick Heilman, minus 22, was 10th. Kayla Pashina, the Queens champion for just a couple weeks ago, was 11th at minus 45, and Parker Hartle rounded out the top 12 at minus 77. We had 4 other cashers, 5 actually, because there was a tie, but Clark Polzer at minus 100 was 13th. Yours truly, Tom Corbett, was 14th at minus 103. Joe Younglove, minus 106, was 15th, and we had a tie at 16th and 17th. At minus 108, Brady Stearns and Brandon Brown, and they will split the money and the points for that position. This was an unusual tournament where we always have bonus cashers, bonus senior cashers, bonus female cashers. What it is 1 for 3 of the non-cashing seniors or 1 for 3 of the non-cashing females will get a bonus cash. Well, all the seniors but one either cashed or made the cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 7 seniors. 4 made the cut, 2 cashed, and 1 did not, and there's no bonus for that. And then 2 of the 3 females made the cut, so there's no bonus female. And Trae Henrichsmeyer was the only junior, so he cashed, so there was no bonus. This is the first time ever since we started the bonus cashers that we had that. I mentioned this is the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decades. This is the 3rd leg of that. And what it is we have age brackets, so 29 and under, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59. We actually changed that because we have 40 to 49. We used to have 50 to 59, but there weren't enough 16-olds, so we combined the 60 along with the 50-year-olds. So there's 4 categories. Whoever wins the category of the 3 tournaments that we bowled, which was September, November, February, they'll get $300. And then those 4 bowlers will bowl off at the year-end tournament. And whoever wins that is the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decade champion, and we'll get an extra $300 for that. I see Jerry Halldorf on 22 over there, kind of a late 7 pin. David Langer is up on lane 23. He was a second qualified second today, whatever. He's got the front 6. He started out using urethane all day long until, I believe, 3 games ago. I'm not exactly sure. Like I mentioned, even though they're bowling on the same pair with somebody, you are bowling everybody. High scorer gets 36 bonus pins. Second gets 33, third gets 30, all the way down to 12th place gets 3 bonus pins. I didn't think David Langer liked that shot on that lane 23, but it rolled right up into the pocket. As we say that, set it and forget it. Watch this young man, Trae Henrichsmeyer, bowl. Very, very talented. Come from Eau Claire, like I mentioned. I believe he's only about 18, 19 years old. He is going to be really good. I don't remember what college he's going to. It might be Wichita. They got a really good player if he goes down there, and he'll learn even more. Throws it out to the break point right around that marker down lane. Snaps the 10 pin out. Can't get any better than that. I watched him practicing with urethane, trying to throw backups to see if that was going to be any better for him. Evidently it wasn't, but he's making this look pretty good. David Langer does with one hand what some of these two-handers do with 2 hands. Hey, there's Jason Hansen coming over to the booth. We're short of Mike today, so either we're going to share it or he's going to come up with some other way. Oh, a handheld one possibly. David Langer with the front 8. It's not fair. He's too good. I just mentioned that David.
Center of gravity.
Oh, there you go. I just mentioned that David Langer does with one hand what a lot of these bowlers do with 2.
Yes, he does.
That he does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Jason might be the roving reporter down there with the handheld mic. We might be having that. If somebody throws a bad shot, we might go up and say, hey, what do you think about that one? That's David Langer up on the left lane, going for the first 9, right about 5th arrow. And the kind of the half 10. It just didn't flip up high enough. Another dream shattered. See Jerry Haldorf there on that right lane for a solid strike. I mentioned years ago, the first time we had the insurance policy for somebody to shoot 300 in the stepladder finals. The second tournament we had, we go to Eau Claire. We spent, I think it was $300, I think, or I can't remember what it was for the insurance policy. Anybody who shoot 300 in the stepladder finals, nobody had ever done it. And then Jerry Halder, second tournament we had, he wins $5,000 for shooting a 300 in a stepladder match.
Nice. Hey, it works.
Okay, Jason's got the handheld mic.
Yeah, we can try to be a little roving. Maybe this definitely gives us more freedom to.
You could rove around as long as that
cord is.
Yep, exactly.
You get about 8 feet of roam.
We talked earlier. We're going to come up with a booth cam like we had when we were down in La Crosse, and we'll have a screen behind us so that you don't see. A little bit more. So,
yeah, well.
Okay. Oh, I see where you have it now. All right. Well, then we can bring people into the booth and have discussions. We'll see how that works.
Yeah.
Some people might not want to talk after a bad match. I'd like to know, and we did this before when we were doing stuff with Northwest Community Television. I would interview people before the match started, whatever, and ask them like, what's their plan of attack? And this is in the step ladder, not just this match play now, and just to see what their thought process was going into a match. Watching Trae hooked in the lane from fifth arrow out to that marker down there, and solid striking.
Yeah, this is a really, really good match here. I mean, obviously Lumpy with the upper hand, but
yeah, he wants that 36 bonus.
Yeah, he does. He does. Well, and this isn't, I'm sure you even talked about it, this isn't these two bowling against each other
Correct.
for the 30, so Trae is in really good position even for, 33, 30-ish kind of bonus pins.
Oh, somebody down there had 270 going, but then split in the ninth, so that's not going to happen. I can't see what's going on 13 and 14, but this match here at 23 and 24, those will probably be the top two.
Yeah, and we can actually, we'll zip back over there so we can kind of see the end of it there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is your number 1 and number 2 scores, it looks like.
No, I can't remember. Do we have carryover pins?
No carryover. Nope.
Pins.
So it all starts over.
right here.
Yep.
5 games of this, and then a big position round.
Yep. Correct.
And we did not re-oil in between the match play, or the qualifying and match play. Did not do that. So being that we did not re-oil, nobody could touch any surface, couldn't change surface on their bowling balls. If we would have re-oiled, they could have changed surface. Well, I mean, re-oil is bad, Trae? Right. Well, absolutely. You wouldn't play 6-0 on fresh. So we're just talking to Trae down there. Re-oiling, we do this once in a while, just to have a change of pace on tournaments. So we have 12 different tournaments we like to. So some are re-oils, people like it, some don't. Some we don't re-oil, some like it. I guess I can. Looking at Trae's, he does not like re-oil. But we try to change up instead of having the same exact thing every month, we want to change it a little bit. Some people are going to like it this way, some will like it that way, whatever it is. But we want to make sure we do different things. So if you bowl most of them or all of them, you'll get a different array of patterns. Qualifying is still the same. It's still 8 games of qualifying. But when you make the match play, that's always going to be a little bit different. And the way we do the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decade series is I wanted to have different types of formats in the match play so that there's different things. And I think it's done pretty well. And I'm sure I'll sponsor it again next year. Oh, 269 for David Langer. So he's going to get the 36 bonus pins, and it's looking like Trae's going to have the 33 bonus pins. I see somebody down there at 232. That might be third place. And I can't see what's going on at 13 and 14, but I don't see a lot of, there's no strings down there, so they're probably not going to be, probably right in the middle. So who's this? Briley. So Briley Howell can have just 2-1. And there's another 190 there, 200 to 179 on this pair. Well, we'll see. That's all we're doing. So we have 12 lanes, 1 person per lane on 13 all the way to 24. If you started on the left lane, you're going to move left. And if you start on the right lane, you're just going to move right. Just go right to the next pair. No, you don't have to worry about who you're bowling against because it doesn't matter. Of course, 23 and 24 looks like a good pair only because the 2 guys on that pair were pretty good and shot good scores. Just go left. Just keep going left the whole 5 games. Keep going left or keep going right, whatever lane you started on. It gets quiet in the bowling center when people aren't throwing the ball down the lane. Just had a little conversation with Scott Sodergren, who is the lane man here at Classic Bowl. Been here for a long time. He, my doubles teammate and Laker tournament team.
Yeah. Start where you finished then? Or
Correct.
Yep.
Just like you normally would on a regular thing. Just keep left or right. These guys don't look like, I don't think they've ever bowled before, Jason. Have they ever bowled this tournament before where you know, it's something new? For Chad. Just follow your arrow and follow your initial. A, B, A, B. If you're A, you're going to be A the whole time. If you're B, you'll be B the whole time.
I see the video. He's tough to beat. It's like a boxer. He's got the reach. You know? I go, try to get your rematch.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, you're A every time.
What's 20?
A every time. You keep going left, be A every time. No.
That's where I was like.
Yeah.
Because that's
Well, normally you just. No, you start where you finish. You start where you finish. Yeah. This way. Follow the arrows. That's right. This is it is kind of funny that it's simple, but then it's a little bit different, so it's confusing to people because you just got to follow the arrows, just like we do in any other tournament. Hey, Aaron, Jason's the one who said that he had low center of gravity. And Dan, good to see that. Good to see you tuned in. You should have been bowling today. You know, you can bowl these things. You're pretty good at it. Could be good at it. We'll see you bowling here sometime. So I was just kind of watching that. David Langer, you couldn't see it, but he left that light 7-pin on 21, and I think he was probably a little bit quick. He kind of told himself to slow down a little bit. I was just watching Jerry Haldorf, which I bowled with him all day long. He left that split there. Him and I talked all day about trying to be soft, somewhere between second and third arrow, so that you don't throw the ball through the break point. And he did a good job of it, especially at the end. Yeah, so you always feel like commentating during a live
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're watching those guys.
We have 3 separate cameras. So we'll watch these 3 pairs. Flips around. One camera's on the lane and one's up on the floor. So you're here for another 3-4 hours.
Yeah. I'll be here.
Keith Howard is watching. Keith, you know, you should be out here bowling these things once in a while. Or at least the MSC, because you are old enough now. There's Chad focusing solidly while that guy was going down to get the pin out of the channel. I think he took it upon himself to make sure he focused. and went down there thinking, hey, this guy's not going to bother me, and he didn't. This bowling game is just about staying focused. Everybody throws the ball really well, and sometimes when you get going, you're striking here, there, you kind of lose focus because you get like comfortable, so you just kind of lose a little bit of focus. But and then on the other hand, if you're bowling bad, you kind of like you're going through the motions really quickly instead of focusing how your ball reacts and thinking about moving a board to here and there. Maybe I should be changing bowling balls or something, but it's easy to lose focus, especially at 8 games. Long day, takes about 4 hours for the qualifying, half hour a game. So. I mentioned this is our the locker guy, bowler of the decade. This is our third leg of it. It was the final leg of it. William, on the 29 and under age category, Will Matafee was ahead of Josh Kennedy by 4 points. And I'm pretty sure he's going to win that because the other people who are 29 and under don't have enough pins or enough points to catch them. So he might win that. You get $300 for that. The 30 to 39, Brady Stearns, I'm pretty sure will win that because he cashed, so he's going to get so many points based on whoever else in that age bracket. Let's see, Caleb Pashina, Katie Ann are both in there. Anthony Stewart, but he didn't make the cut. So, yeah, Brady should probably win the 30 to 39 bracket. The 40 to 49 probably going to be, will be, Matt Payne will win that one. And then Chad Nelson and Clark were tied for the 50 and over. And Clark did not make the cut. Chad did. And the other 50 and over that are here, Jerry Haldorf is here. And I'm here, of course, whatever, but I'm not going to have enough. So Chad will win that. So each one of those bowlers get extra $300. And then at the year end, we have a roll-off. Those 4 bowlers roll off to see who, for another $300 to see who is the bowler of the decade. The locker guy, bowler of the decade. Is to see David Langer just barely touching that 10 pin and knock it over. So here's, like I mentioned, the David Langer was first and Trae Henrichsmeyer was second. They got the 36 and 33 bonus pins, and then it was Chad Nelson, Briley Howe, Jerry Haldorf, Matt Payne. They tied at 200. Parker Hartle, Rob Clemens, Caleb Pashina, Katie Ann, Nick Heilman, and Thomas Cleveland rounded out the top 12. And like I mentioned, it was 36, 33, 30, 27, all the way down to 3 points. But he's not really bowling against them, though. He's just on the same pair.
2 games with him today. He's 85 over.
Okay. Nick bowling against Lumpkin. So when Nick Heilman is on the same pair of David Langer, he shoots 240s, what Clark Polzer is telling me. So I think Nick likes it more than David Langer. And he makes it look really easy. He uses that pin down stuff and rolls it right up the pocket. Andy, let me tell you where Nick is in the age bracket. Nick Heilman is in the 40 to 49 age bracket. The only thing is he can't win it because he didn't bowl the September tournament, but he can change the amount of points given to the other people by just being high in the 40 to 49 of this tournament. But I don't think anybody is going to catch Matt Payne, is what I'm saying, because he made the cut. And he's got 48 points, and of course Nick's only got 25. So Andy, he's old. You're right, but to you he is. He's a youngster to me. I got him by like almost 20 years in age. Well, 18 maybe. That's like almost 20. I see Scott Sodergren is watching. I thought he was going to be working. He might be in the back. place runs so smoothly that he doesn't have to be out here chasing pins or just fixing machines, whatever, because the place runs really nicely. All right, we get another microphone again. Jason Hansen back to join us in the booth.
Look at that guy blurry. Why'd that get blurry all of a sudden?
What got blurry?
The scores. Look at that.
Oh, the scores are blurry. At least on that pair. There, you had it. There you go. Okay. We have no idea why that happened. So watching David Langer, he just lets that ball roll. He feeds it out to the spot and lets it hook back. He's a very, very good at speed control, throwing it soft, letting it hook. Or if you need to throw it straighter and harder, he can do that too, which is why I think he is one of the best. I'm talking about David Langer.
For sure.
How he can soft, hook it, throw it straighter, harder, whatever he needs to do. And not only can he do it, he knows when to do that.
Experience, a lot of practice.
Yeah, stuff like that.
A lot of natural ability.
There's that.
Yeah, he's got a lot of those things that you need.
No, he can read the lane and he knows what goes on out there. He pays attention always for watching his ball roll. And obviously he's helped me a lot when I bowl. He'll tell me sometime, soften up, do this, whatever, and I will listen to him. There's a lot of other people I won't listen to.
Yeah.
It's easy for somebody to say you're doing this wrong when they don't even know me.
Yeah.
And he won't just tell me without really kind of making sure I'm ready to be told.
Right. We say that a lot with in the pro shop when people come in, and they want some advice, and then of course the first thing you hear, well, I bowl with this guy or this gal, and they said I'm doing this, or I need to do this, or I need to buy this, or
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's maybe not the best advice. Bowlers like to give advice to other bowlers, whether we know what we're talking about or not.
You are a coach, so you probably hear more than I do, whatever. But how many people come in and say, "Well, my buddy told me that I'm dropping my shoulder."
Yeah. And I say, "Good, you should drop it a little more."
Exactly.
Open that window naturally.
Yeah, because it's an old fallacy. You didn't want to.
Right.
Guess, way back.
Yep.
But
But no, and we talk about the best of the best, the pros, that kind of thing. Lumpy's got a lot of those attributes, a lot of those talents. He has speed control, he has release control.
Right.
He has all of the parts you need.
he would have been one that could have made it on a pro tour if that was his so-called. If he wanted to do that when he was younger.
That was the path he had wanted to take. I'm sure he would have had some success doing it.
Well, he bowled the U.S. Open one time out in California, and he was like 15th, I believe, overall with all those pros.
Yep.
Gary Green was out there at the same time with them, and Gary didn't make the cut or be watching Lumpy bowl, and he goes, he called him crispy because he was so crisp every time he was just solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. And we have a little issue on the score. It shows when he gets a strike, we'll go down there and fix it.
Yeah, we'll go down and fix that.
Yeah. And
he did.
I'll go tell him to change it. No. Make that a strike. So, Jake, Andy probably thinks that he's splitting this with Nick, but I would have to say Nick is not splitting with Andy.
Yeah, I think Nick might take this all for himself today.
Unless Andy drives up here really quickly and helps him in the stepladder. So I see Chad went to some sort of reactive resin. I'm not sure what he's using, but he used urethane all day today. And I think, he's that good reason. I don't want to say he's toying with everything, but he was just trying to use that and see how it would work for him all day.
Yep.
And he didn't want to use his pitch black because he wants to bowl some PBA 50, and the pitch black is not accepted out there, I guess?
Correct. Yep.
So he used the 78U?
Yep.
And he said it's not as soft as the pitch black.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. All of that is correct.
So now he probably figures he needs to get higher scores, so he's going to change to something where we get higher scores.
Well, and hopefully, I'm sure his thought is be able to move in and open it up.
Well, which he can do that, yeah. So I mentioned that there's 36 bonus pins for high score for each game. It's goes down three bonus pins per place. David Langer had the 269 and plus the 36 bonus pins, so he got this. And Chad Nelson was third, got the 30 bonus pins. So right now, Chad's can strike out for 239. David Langer's could strike out for 230 some also. So they're kind of fighting for that. Probably the second and third points, because it looks like Nick Heilman's going to have 240 or 50 to get to 36 bonus pins. But if you can stay with that 30 bonus pins or higher each game, which means, first of all, it means that you bowled really well, you're going to be in the ladder. We mentioned there's no carryover pins. There was no re-oil. This is just a different type of format that we're using on the Locker Guy Bowler, the Decades tournaments. We want to have something different. We got kind of stagnant for quite a while where we just would bowl 8 games of qualifying, take the top third of the field, you bowl 6 more games. 5 games, just luck of the draw, who you bowled match play against. You bowl 5 games, and then a big position round, and then the top 5 will bowl step ladder. It got to be the same thing over and over again, so I wanted to try something different. And I think it's helped. There's Chad on lane 20. Ooh, the solid 9. And didn't he just leave something like that, a frame or two before I thought he might have? So that gets him down to 230s. David Langer can spare double for 220s. So Chad's going to be at least second. If not, all depends on what Nick Heilman does here. Somebody down on lane 14 looks like they have about 4 or 5 bagger with an open down there, so I'm not sure. That actually could be Trae. And it looks like he might have left a dead 10 pin. No, he got a strike on it. He dropped his shoulders like he didn't carry, but he probably didn't like how he threw it. So he could be right up there too with probably another 230 game or so in there. So it's going to be close. Oh, it kicks out that 10 pin. If you saw that on lane 21, that was David Langer. He's kicking the bottom of the 10. Chad, like we always talk, this would be an easy strike because he's always striking the 11th frame when it doesn't matter as much. See, perfect. No chance for a double, but you get that one. So 238. And if I read that right, it looks like Trae might have been in the 240s down there. I can't really tell. David Langer is going to need this one to get to the 220s to make sure he gets that 4th place points, which is going to be 27 points, because I'm pretty sure Nick's going to double and get the 1st place points. And of course he didn't do it, so he's going to have 2-1. Talking about David Langer, that is. That was on lane 21. I'm going to move this over to 21 and 22 so we watch Nick's 10th frame. Good afternoon, Randy Wyckoff. I'm assuming you're saying good afternoon all the way from California, right? Or are you here in the frozen tundra? Actually, it's 30 degrees, as we say in Minnesota. Not bad out. 216 clean game for David Langer. Watching Nick. Oh, that's just between 5th and 6th arrow. Oh, I think he got away with that one. I know he got away with that one. It's amazing that he got that thing skidding down the lane, and I'm pretty sure he uses pin down stuff all the time. I think that's kind of a joke. But I'm surprised that hooked back enough to carry. That's a kind of we call voodoo roll that he has. Gets him into 240s. I think he needs at least 9 spare. I believe 247 is high, so he needs to have 9 spare to, or better, to get to 36 points. Okay, well, he got the 9 count. Don't think it was one of his better ones. Jeremy Steffen. How are you, young man? You got to be like mid-40s now, Jeremy. You waiting to turn 50 so you can bowl the MSC? Is that what your goal is to do? All right, all the scores are in. I believe it's Nick, then it was Trae, I believe, then Chad, then David Langer, of what I could see. But we'll find out when our crack staff will get all these scores to us. No comment on the MSC, huh? Well, you have to. Just because you have to. You know, you're one of those guys that the first ever CBA you bowled, you won. Well, then you have to bowl a MSC. So the first ever MSC you bowl, you got to win. Because nobody has ever done that. Just so you know. You could be the first. It looks like everybody's done. So we'll be starting up this next game. We should be starting right away. Only a couple people got to walk from one end to the other for the end pairs, but other than that, this will go pretty quick. This is game 3. We'll have, like I mentioned, 5 games to this and 1 big position round. Top 5, full step ladder. There's Rob Clements on lane 23, so that looks like I went hooked up early on him, and I wonder if I did bowl on this pair, and I think this pair was hooking more than the other one. He would have come from 13 and 14, so he went basically half of the house away. Probably, I know it's a little bit different, a little tighter down there probably. I was just going to say, Rob's a very good spare shooter, so he should have this, but then he didn't do that. I could jinx anybody.
See you Tuesday.
Parker Hartle right there on 21, throwing a good strike. He had a 260 game in there about game 3, and that pretty much kept him in it the whole day. And he had some other good games. I'm not saying that was the only game, but see, where did he finish again? He was 12th. So he only had 2 200s, but he got to 7,700. That's all it needed. Yeah, you're right, Brad. Jeremy's got 3, maybe 4 years. I think he's the same age as my daughter, who's 46. And Michael, you should come out and bowl one of these days. They're fun. The next one is a team challenge. Our next CBA tournament is the team challenge. It's actually the Minnesota Team Challenge run by the CBA. And then April is our year end, and you can't bowl that one unless you have had 5 tournaments during the year, or 4 tournaments, during the year to bowl. So our new season starts in May. We go from May through April. That solid strike on 21. Chad Nelson was there. Let's watch Rob Clemens. He's not going to be your typical going left to right. Be a little bit straighter down lane. Keeps the ball in front of him, and he didn't like that one because he kept it too far in front of him. But he got a double out of that, so that helps once in a while. High, broke up the split for Parker. Let's watch Nick. Started out with a double. He looks like he's getting pretty comfortable. He didn't like that one at all off his hand, but crossed over for a solid strike, and that's key when you do that. Make the mistake big enough. Obviously, he's very, very lucky. Make a mistake not as bad. You go through the nose for a split. It's all about bowling. You get you'll leave some solid 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, whatever it is you leave. Bad breaks here and there, but you get some good breaks that people don't seem to remember those. Got that one out. We're just inside that marker. I think if you'd have got it to the marker, it would have went flush. So it's just inside the marker. Went a little bit high.
See you guys. Good bowling.
See you, Clark. You beat me by 3 pins. I'm not talking to you anymore. Okay, well then I'll talk to you again.
I missed, so you made it.
Yeah, that was the reason. You needed that second strike and you didn't get it.
Right.
I'll see you next Sunday at the MSC in Southway, St. Cloud. So Nick always strikes when he doesn't like it off his hand, huh? Well, Terry, you would know that. Or Andy would know that probably better than anybody. All right, I want to watch Rob here because he doesn't like the 2 that he threw on the left lane. We'll see if he gets that one down the lane further. That looked better. It's just hooking earlier for him. My guess is he's just totally surprised that it's hooking that much more than the pair he was on before. That's the difference, middle of the house to the high end of the house. And so I think the people who had the advantage, of course, I think you have an advantage. The first pair you're on during practice, you should have your best game just because you practice on that pair for 10 minutes or whatever it is. You should be lined up. You should know what to do. And we do have a rule that you would be free to move across the house. So you take shadow balls, you don't have to stay on your same pair. If you want to go 4 lanes away and throw a ball or 8 lanes away and throw a ball, you are more than welcome to do that. So you can see if there's certain pairs that are better, hook more, whatever. You watch some of your friends bowl, you know they bowl, you can be able to tell that. And Rob's still having trouble getting the ball down the lane. I might have to go tell him something. We have this thing, move left, throw right. Here, Clark, I'm going to read the scores here right now.
Those 4. Here's my other pick.
Okay, after 2 games, Trae Henrichsmeyer, who was first, or was second and then second. Oh, he tied somebody. Oh, Nick Heilman had 247. I thought Nick had 248. He must have missed that single pin. But anyway, so leading Trae Henrichsmeyer, he is now at, let's see, at 489 plus 67.5 bonus pins. So he is basically 156.5 over. Then David Langer, 148. Chad Nelson, 130. Nick Heilman, 47. Oh, Nick started at 160 and then 240. Rob Clements is at 44 over. And he's hurt in this game right now. He needs to get the ball down the lane somehow. Change balls, move left, something like that. Matt Payne went 200, 190. Jerry Haldorf, 200, 180. Bradley Howe, 2-1, 160. Katie Ann, 170, 190. Parker, 190, 170. Caleb Pashina, 180, 150. That hurt. Thomas Cleveland, I'm just going to say he went 140, 170. So that rounds out our top 12. A couple people to watch out for that we kind of think at this particular tournament and the way it goes, not just because they're up in the top 5 right now, but Nick's the guy to watch out for sure. David Langer, of course, and Briley Howe. He won last year in here, even though he had the 160 and he was second to last. He is certainly not out of it at all, and he's good enough to string a bunch of strikes together and have some high games. And Trae Henrichsmeyer, like I mentioned, a junior, only bowled maybe 1 or 2 CBAs. I'm not sure. He's always he would always be a threat. He's very, very good. Solid strike by David Langer. What David Langer does, he keeps the ball in play, always around the pocket, and he just picks up every spare there is. So he's not going to get the 6 and 7 counts. It doesn't seem like it. And he leaves single pins, uses the same strike ball at it, throws it, flattens it out. Very, very good spare shooter, so that keeps him in the game all the time. Jason's back. Whew. Running around there.
Yeah.
Staff, you only got one person helping you today, Jason. That'll be your daughter, Allie.
Better than none.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
Better than none.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about Rob Clements over here, and you can't see now. He's off to the right of your screen. He's having trouble on his left end getting the ball down the lane, and I think because he came from 13 and 14, a little tighter through the heads down there anyway, and this one is hooking up a lot earlier. He finally got that one going a little bit more right, and still not enough. If you look at him, he's going, what's going on?
Yeah, he looks definitely a little frustrated with it for sure. I'm going to go fix that camera.
Okay, yeah, it's out of whack. Just like my bowling the last game. That strike on 16 was Matt Payne way down there, so I'm not sure how he's doing. Just kind of saw that outside of my eye. So we got 19 and 20. Who are we watching? It looks good up there, but nobody's on 19 or 20. What's going on?
Here she comes.
Oh.
Looks like a ball change.
Okay. Well, yeah, when you go 7, 7, 9, 5, 6, I think you should try a different bowling.
Yeah.
What do I know? I'm standing back here. Oh, that was a solid strike.
Now I got to go fix it again.
What's going on? Is somebody bumping it?
Chad.
Oh, what the? Chad, fine him.
Yeah. That's a fine.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I can't see the frames anymore.
No, you can't. Well, tell those people to stay away from our cameras. I'm trying to fix that, but his hand is wobbly there. Watching David Langer. Oh, the solid 9. The ball not hitting it. Can't quite see the frames. We can count the frames, but you like to see the numbers up on top there. There you go. Leave it. Got it. Okay, watching Nick Heilman. You can't see him on screen. Watch him over here on 23. I want to see if he's getting that ball down the lane. And see, inside the marker, he didn't get it to the marker, but just inside of it for a high kind of trip forward. So just left lane, Nick's able to get the ball down the lane, and Rob not. Not that they're bowling against each other, but.
No, that's Nick must be definitely using a little bit more spin, a hand position type thing or whatever, because Rob is definitely a lower rev rate than what Nick would be. So it just seems kind of funny that Rob can't get it down the lane, but Nick can.
I think what it is Rob can't believe he's got to throw it that much left to right.
Yeah.
He is not.
And that's not his comfort zone. That's Rob's definitely a more direct in the front kind of player. So.
And but see, this is the funny thing. You see this back here? We could tell him 4 frames ago when he could when you're out there bowling. You're moving, you're doing things, but you don't make the big move right away.
Well, in a pattern like this, not typical that it's going to let you make a big move a lot of times.
I was surprised how it held up.
A lot of oil.
Well, there was that, which is why it held up.
Yep.
So.
A lot of oil. Just over 30 mils.
41 feet.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yep.
A lot of urethane was going down, so that helped hold pocket more, or made the ball skid past the head like you did last for me.
Yeah.
But it didn't hook early for me. A couple lanes here and there, but I had no problem getting it down lane. Okay, Rob's moving more and more with his feet, but he's got to get that ball down lane at that marker down there, and I'm not sure if he's going to get it down that far. That time he just inside the marker.
Yeah.
Okay, and
it barely got there, yep.
But he did it. So go watching Kayla after she had that first 5-frame struggle, changed balls, struck, and then went 9 spare. I'm not sure what she went to, bowling ball wise, whatever, but and it went high again. Nick gets those pins, just flopping around down there.
Little voodoo roll and a little pin action to help.
He's a pretty solid player. He won that last leg up there at Southway.
He did.
For the, what do they call it, the 10K Larson?
Yeah, the Larson Siding and Windows 10K quadruple crown,
Yes.
which is going to be a quintuple crown next year.
Really?
Ryan Burr's new center down in Faribault.
I heard about that.
Yeah, will be
very nice.
Yep, will be one addition to the quadruple, and then Southway again, and
Okay.
we're going to double dip on the CBA weekend this year for the Southway Open. So
Okay.
the Southway Open will be held in September, a day before the first leg of the Bowler of the Decades.
Okay. Oh,
So it'll be on the Saturday prior
so
to
Rocky
the.
Eye Bowler Decade will still be on the Sunday.
Yep.
And the other will be on the Saturday.
Yep.
I like
yep.
it.
Southway Open on Saturday and the Bowler of the Decades on
You
Sunday.
could set up the cameras and leave them there.
Keep them up all weekend long.
I might be willing to go up there and commentate. And not
Yeah,
bowl
for the
Saturday.
Southway Open.
Yeah, I could help if you need. I thought about it when I mentioned I would maybe help if you did it, but then I got back from our 14-day vacation late Friday night. I go, I'm glad I didn't really admit that I was going to help out because I didn't really want to do that.
I'm glad I didn't say that out loud.
Okay, right. Well, that's a good thing. So the quintuple crown, that's pretty cool. We used to have, years ago, we had the, what did I call it? We had the on-track triple crown, and then we had the senior Grand Slam was what I called it way back, where we had a senior masters along with all the other masters, the other 3 masters tournaments, and whoever did it both in those 4 tournaments was the Grand Slam winner. So 226 for Nick Heilman. Rob needs to somehow get his first one, so he gets a little bit higher score. Otherwise, he's at a 180 pace. He can still strike out for 200. As bad as he's been struggling, you get that double in the 10th, that helps tremendously. And of course, that's going to happen. You're going to miss the head pin, right?
And that was just outside of that.
Okay, the
Tracker,
marker.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I tried to look at that a lot today. Ball at the arrows and down there. And if I was right around that marker, I was really close to the pocket.
Sure.
Well,
Would make a lot of sense because Rule of 31 would
correct.
say 10.
Exactly. Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's where that marker is.
Yep. So 245. That was Chad Nelson with a 245, I believe, on lane 22. And I see a couple other strings down there.
Next month is Team Challenge.
I think that's Trae with another 5 or 6 bagger there. I believe that's him. So he had a 260, I believe. Trae is going to be right now.
760 out of the gate.
That's not bad.
750. Yeah.
So he said he made the cut, but that was the Masters he made the cut in, wasn't it? Not a CBA tournament?
I can't remember. I thought it might have been just
The
at
Minnesota
Park Grove
Masters.
last month.
Oh.
I think it was at Park Grove that he did.
Oh yeah. Where was I? Because I missed it. I'm trying to remember where I was. That could have been my food poisoning weekend.
You know that.
I think it was.
You were. I know you were gone.
That's what it was. I had food poisoning on that Saturday. Yeah, that's what it was. That's why I wasn't there. So that's why I don't remember him making a CBA cut. In other words, he's 2 for 2. Including the Masters, he's 3 for 3. Well, he's pretty good.
He is pretty good.
Yeah. David Langer not throwing a good one in the 10th frame, leaving at 3-6. So give him 2-0 if he spares strikes. I see 1, 2, 3 games higher than that. I can't see what, maybe 4 games are higher than that. So he's still going to get into 20 points as far as the bonus. And I'll say it again in case you guys didn't hear. This is strictly, you're bowling a singles game. You're bowling a game just as a single bowler. You're not bowling a match play. And you, high score of all 12 bowlers gets 36 bonus pins. Second is 33, third is 30, fourth is 27, and so on down to 12th gets 3 bonus pins. So you're bowling against everybody, not just a match on your pair. So Dave Lager with the 8 count for 206, but I think that gets him about 5th place at the worst. So 24 points minimum. I'll keep him up there. Trae looks like he had that 260. He gets that plus the 36 points. So he jumped ahead of David Langer by another 70 pins that game. But the reason they're bowling these, not the reason you're bowling them, what you have to do while you're bowling these is just to get into the top 5. So sure, you want to be leading, but your next goal after you make the cut is to get into the top 5 for a chance for the step ladder. You have a chance to win, and of course, the higher seeded in the step ladder, the less games you have to win, and people got to come and beat you. Thomas Cleveland, who has improved tremendously over the last year. Fun to watch the young man bowl. Doesn't get too excited. So, just watching Chad Nelson throw the ball on 23 and then hooked up earlier, went high, left to 610. I would have to say 23 for sure. Hooks early. We'll see. I'm curious to see what he's going to do when he gets up on that lane again. Is he going to think how much is he going to move? I'm sure he's going to move somewhat, but it's like people aren't moving as much as they think they should move. I was just talking about that. Chad just comes up and said that hooked up a little early. Well, I was just commenting, Chad, that I'm curious to see what you're going to do on 23 when you get back up there, because how much you're going to move. Okay. Because Rob Clemens was just on that pair and couldn't get the ball down the lane for quite a bit on the left lane. He came from the other end of the house, which is probably a little bit tighter. Well, he came around the middle of the house, I guess. Well, I was surprised on some of the hook I got at about 9-10, 7-8, somewhere down there. I was surprised how much it hooked. But I do know when I was on 23 and 24, they hooked earlier for me. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. They were doing a lot left to right. Just like that right there. Get it out to that marker down there, and that's what Lumpy and Trae were doing. Well, I do for sure too. Chad just said to see a score, you have to see friction. And I'm a perfect example of that. If my ball doesn't read the lane and hook, I have a lot of trouble. I need the ball to go make a move. That ball motion has to make it move back to the pocket. Hey, Lauren, come here. One of my bowlers that bowls in our league on Wednesday nights. Stop down to watch what's going on here. All right, a crack staff gives me the upgrade after 3 games here. I'm going to tell you what's going on. So, Katie Ann Sopp at 277. I didn't see that. So she gets the 36 bonus pins, but this, of course, is not in order of position. This is in order of who got the bonus pins last game. So I'll have to have them change the order. But either way, Trae Henrichsmeyer was second with 33 bonus pins. Chad Nelson got the 30. Nick Heilman got 27. And then Briley Howe got the 24 bonus pins. David Langer got 21, Parker Hartle, Thomas Cleveland, Matt Payne, Jerry Huldorf, Rob Clements, and Caleb Pacino round out the top 12 as far as points that game. Now, I can tell you about this, though. Leading, though, is Trae Henrichsmeyer. He is 258 over, and then Chad Nelson is 205 over, and 175 for David Langer, then 116 for Katie Ann. And who would be next? Nick Heilman, 100 and a half over. So there's probably your 5 or 6. Yeah, so he can resort this, but that's okay. We don't need to know so far. Don't need to know any different than that right now. This is they're in game 4 right now. So, oh, I didn't see what he did there, but he's come back and said not enough. So, okay. And if he would have moved a little bit less than that, he would have probably crossed over and struck. I was talking about that earlier. That's okay. I got it figured out. I was able to decipher. We're good. My math abilities came into play. What is Dave Langer doing over there? Double 9 spare probably. I can't see if he's bowling on the same pair again, probably with Trae. And Trae's got the front 3 again. So he's making a mockery of this. Or like somebody said, it's a travesty. It's a sham. It's a mockery. It's a Travis sham mockery. That was, me and Scott Sodergren used that a lot. So we got a pin in the channel on 22. And the way the CBA works, just like the PBA, you have to take care of your own deadwood. So sometimes it works, this one doesn't, where you push the reset and then you throw the ball down there and it shouldn't add up the score, but this will add up the score because I bowled in this place before, so you'll have to delete that. And watch, I'll be totally wrong because I just said that. Nope, see, I was right. You'll have to redo that. But that's our rule. So instead of you have to take care of it, get that off the lane. So you knock the pin out of there. You can't just go in back, let somebody else wait and do all that, or call up at the desk, whatever it is. Take care of it yourself. Strike by Rob Clements, but I actually didn't see. I didn't see it. Trae Henrichsmeyer leaves the 4-pin after a turkey. All right, Chad throws a solid strike on lane 24. And he did say when came back after he threw his shot on the 3rd frame on lane 23, left a big 4, he said, I didn't move enough. We'll see what he does in this lane. I know he's going to move, he said 5 and 3. So from that 5 and 3, you'd have to move at least another 2 and 1, or maybe even like a 3 and 1 to get it shaped. He's got to get it down to that marker, whatever it takes to get it down there. So let's see what he does here. Just inside that marker, or almost right on it. Perfect. So good shot for a double. It wasn't a total posted like you normally do, but you got it down to the marker and high flush. Yeah, thanks, Bev, for watching.
7 and 5, and I'm gonna go again.
Well, I was just saying after that 5 and 3, I thought you'd do another 2 and 1 or 3 and 1. I don't know what you actually did, but you had to get it down to that marker down there.
The biggest thing now is when you're moving left, you don't want to spread your numbers too much. It's going to do friction quicker.
Okay.
I was going to change direction.
Well, what I'm saying, you had to get it to the marker. So,
You got to get it out.
yeah. Well, it didn't work on that shot. We talk about this a lot. Why is one lane always quite a bit different than the other later on in the day? People can get further left on a left lane, which is part of the reason why left lanes usually hook a bit more than right. There you go. That's another thing, yeah. But I always would, whatever, because if I don't see my ball move to the pocket, I have no chance. So. Yes. Yeah. Oh, it did. I was surprised how much they actually hooked for the amount of oil. Oh, that was with the urethane thing you were using. Yeah. Well, I was talking about that. That you use that, although qualifying you probably didn't need to, and now you're not doing it now because now you want higher scores. Yeah. Well, you were. Yeah. I missed 2 single pins today. Yeah, I missed a 10 and a 7. Chopped a couple other spares. Missed a cut by 30 pins. So. I did twice. Yeah, I missed one of them. Picked up 2 of them. That 3, 6, 9, 10, which Chad was just talking about. He picked up one today, and that is the toughest spare, without being a washout or a split that there is out there. Washouts are actually easier than the 3, 6, 9, 10. You can miss that 3, 6, 9, 10 myriad of ways, especially when there's oil down at the back end of the lane. You can't just like hook around it to carry the back pin. The half 10. That's the 50-year-old, you say, medic. Needed a wheelchair, didn't get over there. Okay, see if I can see what's going on over here. David Langer, strike, spare, turkey. Trae, turkey, spare, strike, spare. If that's Katie Ann, she's lined up with a 4-bagger, spare, strike. After she just had 270 the game before. Can't see 13 and 14, but that's where like Matt Payne and Nick Heilman are. And who else we got here? He kind of got out of his shoes on that one and tried to throw it harder, but I think he hit up on it and went through the nose. I talked about Chad there.
Yeah, when I went down to hand out standings, and we talked just for a couple seconds, and he said, God, I had made, a big move. He goes, I threw a shot, I left the 6-10. I came back and I moved 5 and 3, left a big 4, and then he finally tripped one after going another 2 or so.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Because he said it was 5 and 3, and then I said he was going to do another like 2 and 1 or 3 and 1 off of that. He said he ended up going like 7 and 5, and he threw it harder. Well, I think that one he tried to throw too hard, got out of his shoes and hit up on it.
Yeah.
Because it hooks a lot earlier. Rob had trouble on that lane. So lane 23, we're not going to be bullying stepladers on that.
No.
So that would be the key if you got that stepladder. And
would be navigating that.
That would be navigating that. So we talk about who get the stepladder final. Whoever has a choice of who's one. If you want to start the match or let your opponent. I just bowled the MSC a few weeks ago, and I snuck in the stepladder as a real old guy.
Nice.
I used my
your
my
ROG card.
My ROG card, yeah, to get in there because I was high ROG and one had to be in. So I bowled 2 matches, and both of them, neither one of them wanted to figure out what lane. They were just saying, okay, so if you start first, I get to finish first, and I go, okay, then you do that. They just wanted to finish the match first, had no clue of what lane
It would be on,
Wouldn't
right,
matter, yeah.
right,
And I think that's just kind of funny.
right.
But a lot of people are more comfortable that way. And it's not like the lanes were different. They weren't that tough, and there wasn't anything to navigate.
Sure, sure.
Hey, Zach Andreessen is watching. Oh, Zach, you would have killed him if you would have been here.
Purple Hammer would
that was in play all day
knocked
for you.
Yep, would have knocked the socks off of him
Zach,
today,
a lot of
Zach.
urethane was going down the lane today. A lot of people are using it. And most of the people who were are out here bowling still,
Yeah.
but not using it now.
Yeah, this is the time of day for sure where the angles become a little too steep for
Correct.
urethane to be effective.
Or for guys like me to be. That's why I didn't want to make it. I wouldn't have been the first one in. No, it was fun today.
Johnny Holmes was the smartest guy not in the building.
Johnny
Yeah,
Holmes was the
yeah.
smartest guy not in the building, as Davey Ullman just said. I was talking earlier, Jason, that of all the years we've had bonus senior and female and youth casters, this is the first tournament that we've never had to pay out a bonus caster.
Not a bonus anything today. Yep.
David Ullman's got an issue with his finger over there. There were 7 seniors bowling today. 4 made the cut, 2 cashed, and David Ullman didn't. Sorry.
Didn't.
I mean, the last
It stops
one
there.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't have to say anything. After
Yeah,
it didn't.
we'll just say there was one that did not make
Yeah.
anything.
But that was very unusual. And then of the 3 female bowlers, Katie Ann and Kayla both made the cut.
Yep.
And Molly Novak bowled really well today. I crossed her a couple times. So see if when I look at this here, whatever, she was 21st. So she only missed casting by 4 spots. 4 spots and 20 pins. So she bowled really well today too. Just got to get it to the marker.
Ain't hungry.
They ain't hungry enough. That's my problem. Lumpy always tells me that. Just feed it out there. And I go, yeah, the problem is my ball ain't hungry enough. And then look back. So speaking of David Langer, I was looking at scores down there. He could strike out for 240. Oh, Trae opened the 9th. He's got 191. So this would behoove David Langer to get this first one for sure. You probably need both of them to get the high score. He can have 240. Get him that 36 pins bonus. That will help. Let's see what he does. He's over on 17. He didn't like it. No, he did not like it off his hand. That was one of the few times that he looked a little bit out of balance. So he opens there. So instead of having a chance for 240, he's going to have 2-1. Briley trying to loft the ball down the lane on that left lane and coming out of his shoes also. 23 I'm talking about. And so maybe it looked like all the left lanes are hooking more than the right lanes, which is typical like I talked earlier. But especially 23. And of course we can see that more because it's right here in front of us where our cameras are. We have lanes 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 where the cameras are on. We can see 17, 18 when the camera's over on 19 and 20. Can't really see the bowl. Thought we lost our signal for a little bit there. We might have. We got it back. Kind of comes and goes once in a while, our signal here. Rob Clements, another clean game for 190. A lot of 9 counts up there, 2 strikes, and I mentioned that ball does just not go left enough. So there was a 247 down there. That might have been Katie Ann. And if that was her, so she had 270, 240, so she's jumping right up in there. As soon as Katie Ann's coach Clark left, she started bowling a little better. Isn't that right, Clark Polzer? Oh, you're not here anymore. Solid strike on 24 for Chad. Gonna have 211 with 2 splits on the left lane. We're gonna see. I want to see how Matt Payne is going to tackle this end pair. He's going to come over here 23-24. And I'm not going to say anything to him. I want to see what he does, especially on 23. He was playing out further than everybody. And, of course, he throws it a lot harder than a lot of people. So he might not have a problem at all. He might like it. So 215 for David Langer. Trae struck out for 221. So I know David Langer was hoping to stay ahead of Trae to gain the extra 3 pins, but he didn't do that. So right now, that 221 looks to be maybe third. And then David Langer is 2-1, even though the open 10th could be fourth. So we'll see how that goes. Jason's getting all the scores right now. Just got to enter them into the computer. While the guys are moving, we got one more game, which is game 5 here. And then we'll stop for a while, get all the scores together, then we'll have one big position round. Oh, it's so quiet in here, you can almost hear a pin drop. All right, I know that was bad. Watching Bradley Howe, he throws a solid strike on 21 and 22. He says, yeah, sure glad I got off of that other pair. So I'm not sure. So we're going to watch Matt Payne on 23. I'm not sure if somebody gave him a heads up about the lane hooking or not. He obviously moved in from where he's standing. It looks like he moved in quite a bit from where he was earlier. So that was just fourth arrow and hooked up right away. Left before it hit the arrows damn near. He's thinking I set it short. So and then Bradley Howe says to him, hey Matt, that lane. Okay, we're back. We lost our signal for a little bit. It's been happening here a little too often. So Matt Payne left the ball hooked right off his hand, left to 5-10, almost picked it up. Curious to see. So that's Kayla on the right lane, lane 24. That ball hooked earlier. So I know both lanes hooked more than the other ones. Especially they're coming, one of them's coming from 13 and 14 area. All right, let's see what's going on here. Who's where? Parker is over on 17 and 18. So is Katie Ann. She's getting closer over here, and she's went 270, 240. So then you got Rob Clements and Trae. That's over 19 and 20. So we're going to see. We'll watch Trae from our side of the. We'll be able to watch him a little bit in this game. And then see Kayla right there. She got the memo that it's hooking a lot more, so she moved in obviously too much. But bucket's easier than a big 4, even though it's not the easiest spare. So better than a big 4. Okay, so she missed that bucket bad enough that she got it. That makes sense? So if she wouldn't have missed it as badly, she could have chopped the 5. So I just heard Kayla Pacino talk about that bucket was easier spare than a 3-6-10. Crossed with her one game today. One frame, she left a 3-6-10, and she missed the 3 and got to 6-10. The next frame, she left it again and chopped a 3 and left a 6-10. So in 2 shots, she picked up the 3-6-10, but no spare either time. I remember that about the second game today. Well, I heard you guys talking about it, so I had to bring it up. You brought it up first. I heard you say easier spare than a 3-6-10. Oh, see, I only saw 2 of them. Well, one was a chop. The other one he just missed. Okay, well, he got over that. So Matt Payne moving a lot on the right lane. I'm not sure if that was thinking that's the same as 23 or not. Okay, we got the results. Jason Hansen and his daughter Allie getting the scores here quickly. So Trae Henrichsmeyer got 33 bonus pins. They're shooting 221. He now is, let's see, so that's 8. That's 312 over. Chad Nelson, even with that struggling there, gets 24 bonus pins. He is 239 over. David Langer, 220 over. He got the 30 bonus pins. Katie Ann got the 36 bonus pins because she was high, so she is 199 over. And Nick Heilman at 214, got 27 bonus pins, so he's 141 over. Briley Howell with that 170 game really hurt him because he only got 3 bonus pins because he was obviously low that game of everybody. So he is only 36 over, and he's like 105 out of the cut, or out of the step ladder. Then Rob Clements, Jerry Haldorf, Matt Payne, Parker Hardle, Caleb Pashina, and Thomas Cleveland will round out their top 12. So what we got going on here, it's starting to be some separation between 5th and 6th. There's 100 pins difference from 5th to 6th, and then there's 10 pins the next couple. If Briley or Rob Clements can shoot a big game and get that 36 or so pins handicap, no, 36 or 30 bonus pins, they're going to jump right up there. But with their scores lately, it might be inconceivable for them to do that. So I see Matt Payne leaves a 5-7 and a 5 pin, and he almost missed that 5 pin. So it hooks early for sure on 23. So actual score-wise, for getting bonus pins, Trae Henrichsmeyer is 179 over actual. Chad Nelson's 125 over. Dave Langer 106. Katie Ann 97. And Nick Heilman 47 over. Those are actual. And it's funny, they always seem to coincide with higher scores with getting the bonus pins. Makes, if you bowl well, and you're going to win those bonus pins, so which means you're going to be in the top 5. So we're just discussing, it's starting to be a little bit of separation between 5th and 6th right now. Barring Briley or Rob or even Jerry Alder shooting a 250 game and getting a 36 bonus pins, it might be the top 5 in the jockeying for position.
Yeah.
And Trae's not going to let anybody pass him. That's what it seems.
No, he's doing, I mean, realistically, I guess, if Katie Ann maintains the pace she has the last couple games, she could maybe catch him because she's beating him by about, 20 to 25 a game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's not letting up. I mean,
except now
42, 47, 69, 21.
Yeah, he just missed a single pin a couple frames ago. We get to watch him right now. Our camera just went over there, so I didn't see what single pin it was, but I guess just
and
10 pin, I don't know.
As he mentioned it, but I mean, here's Clem, a few spots out, and he's got 280 still possible.
That's what I just kind of said. If you could have that 230 or 40 or whatever it is, and get the 36 bonus pins, that'll jump him right up there. So then maybe the top 5 aren't solidified. But Katie Ann's got a turkey and a spare up already, so she's not letting up.
Well, that's what I said. She can, and yeah, she's already in, but she could definitely move up and give a little threat to, Trae or somebody at the top. Correct. Because she definitely seems to have the best of anybody right now, this stage of where the lanes are.
Well, I just mentioned, now once that her coach Clark left, she started bowling ball.
Yeah. It's finally silence in her head.
Exactly. No, we say that in jest because one thing about Clark, he makes you think on every shot. And he'll go, what'd you do on that one? And then if you go up and say, well, I don't know. Well, you didn't pay attention? Okay, so stay focused.
Right.
Sometimes you can be overthinking it, but he does overthink it. I try not to. Who said that? I read somewhere, clear mind, clear head. Who was saying it? Oh, Kyle Troop just said that when he won that tournament. He said something about clear head, clear mind, or something,
sure,
and just go through the motions.
Yep.
But those guys got a little different.
Well, and that's what they practice. That's what they're taught to do, right? I mean, I know this approach, I have this all down, so just get the head out of the way and go through the physical motions that I've done 100,000 times.
Oh, and Clem chops. That is, you throw the ball straight at the 2-4-5, and you chopped it 2-5 off the 4. And it's funny because the one before that in the right lane, it just hooked up enough where he carried. It wasn't really a bucket carry, but it was. And then he must have thrown a little bit harder. Left the 2-4-5, chop it. So he got an open frame instead of, I don't know, just maybe possible strike.
Right.
Trace
And it could. I mean, and again, they're not playing head to head, but I mean, it could be costly.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
and
You're
it's a
not playing
costly.
head-to-head, but you want to beat the guy in your pair because you get extra pins that way.
You don't get to 36 if you don't beat the guy on your pair. So
That's right.
I know it's not match play, but your mind, you start with, I have to beat the guy
Yep.
right across from me, or gal right across from me.
That's like saying when you bowl a city tournament or a state tournament, all I know is if you don't leave the building in first place, you have no chance to win.
You can't win.
Exactly. So we used to joke about that. And speaking of that, the team you're on, that Locker Guy team,
Yeah.
you guys are doing pretty well winning these local tournaments. I like it.
We had a pretty good 2-week stretch of
Yeah.
winning the Garden Center tournament up in Alexandria. And actually, we took first and second
I saw that.
in that. So that was a really good tournament. And then the next week, I think it was, that we bowled the Kegel, and we ended up coming home with that one too.
held
So
on there.
yeah.
And now, so when do you guys bowl the state tournament?
I'd have to ask our captain. He's bowling right now. I'm not sure. We moved our nationals dates, so we're going to the USBC second week of April, which is a month earlier than we normally go.
Yeah, right.
We couldn't get times. We did not want the 11 p.m. We did not want the 7 a.m. So here we are.
I don't like what they're doing national-wise, a lot of reasons, okay, but this is a different one.
You
Yeah, Tyler, what I don't like is they give this captain's club. If you get 8 or more teams, you get like 2 weeks to get your time before anybody else.
Yep.
And if you could, so people are combining this 6 team, that 6 team, that 6 team, they get 18 teams, we're all at the same time. They take up all the good times.
Yep.
I don't like that at all. Because years and years ago, if we bowled, like, so we used to always bowl like that, say the last Tuesday, Wednesday of the month of April.
Yep.
As long as we paid our entry before March 1st of next year, we were guaranteed the same time.
Right.
It bothers me they don't do that anymore.
And that's why we are
Yes,
where we
exactly.
are.
The captain's club is, I think, absolutely ridiculous.
25 years of going bowling the second Wednesday and Thursday of May has now turned into, bowling the second Wednesday and Thursday of April because of the times.
How about this is my 49th time? The first few were not at the same time of the year, but I would say 35 of those years or more
Same.
were at the end of April.
Right, yeah.
Easily 35 of those, because if I look back, we started our Laker team in 1986, so this will be our 37th of that. Plus, so yeah, 40 years I bowled that last part of April.
And I mean,
we still are, but
for me,
I'm not guaranteed.
Yeah, for me the biggest thing always has been, getting back for the pro shop or now the center. And, we actually are bowling, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll fly out Friday. I'll be home still for the weekend. So it's just the stuff during the week. So it's not as costly. But you get into May and bowling's over. I mean,
Correct.
we have a few summer leagues and that we have. But, the bulk of stuff is over and you just don't have to worry about missing business. Now we host mixed state this year, and
You're not there to help run it.
again, I'll be back for the weekend. But there are things that go on during the week that need to be done to prepare, and I won't be there for that.
Yeah, better when you're there. You'll be on the phone.
Yep.
Oh, Kayla. Ooh, almost hooked by that 4-pin there, or 7-pin. Trae Henrichsmeyer has got a 5-bagger up there. Going into 10th, and he leaves the Greek church. I just started talking about him, how he came back from that single pin miss in the 4th with a 5-bagger. I couldn't see from behind so much, whatever, but evidently he didn't like it. So I'll give him about maybe 209 or 8, whatever he is for pin count here. That hurt him, and Rob will probably beat him on this pair. Oh, no, Trae's going to have more than that. I was adding wrong. get about 215-ish. And Rob needs a double for 220. But what he wants to do, like Jason and I were just talking, to get those extra bonus pins, you have to beat the guy in your pair. So at 218, so that means Rob's got a double. Katie Ann, she could have 240 still if she strikes out, but she's had a 220 pace going into the 9th frame. So you can see that ball going down on lane 18, and she leaves the big 4. Just when I start talking about people, and then it looks like Nick Heilman. He had a string going on about 15 and 16 there. He opened in the 9th, or he's got 215 in the 9th. So everybody's kind of messing up here in the 9th and 10th frame. And almost a 4-9 for Matt Payne. This lane 23 is really getting to be tough. So this is our 5th game, and we're going to be breaking for a while to figure out the position round. And there might be some jockeying around, but I think the top 5 might be staying pretty much similar. The top 5 might, whatever. But let's see. That was Thomas Cleveland. He can have 220. Matt Payne, this is really hurting him. He had a chance to maybe move up, but this pair has taken it out of a lot of people. It took it out of Briley Howell. Chad snuck through at 200 on that pair. The only ones who bowled well on the pair were David Langer and Trae Henrichsmeyer, because they had all that practice on there, and they took advantage of it. So what did Katie Ann end up with? 200. Oh, I thought she had. Wow, she had that was a split in the 9th. Sorry, then she went 6 pair in the 10th. So she could have 211. Well, then, talking about Rob, he had a chance to be in, and he opens the 10th for 200. There's a lot of 10th frame opening here. So that was Rob's chance to get a lot of extra bonus pins, and didn't do it. Katie Ann, 221 or 211, that really helped. So Trae right now is sitting 3rd this game, at least maybe 4th. So he's still going to get 27 bonus pins, still shooting 218. So not many people are going to move up too much on him. Let's see what David Langer's doing down there. 234 was Nick Heilman. David Langer could have 2-1 something. So he needs to get this next strike and 8 to beat Katie Ann to get those extra 3 pins. So all pins count all the time, as people tell me always. All right, after we got a couple more shots of people to throw here to get the scores for after this game 5, and then we'll take a little bit of break for a position round, and then we'll be back. So looks like David Langer did get that second one in the 10th, so he can have 214. He needs at least 8 to get the extra bonus pins. So 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, he's going to be 5th or 6th, but still, he needs 8 to get it 3 extra bonus pins. And at this juncture, you really need it.
Yeah, we can. We'll get you. Yeah.
All right, we're going to shut the mic off for a little bit here, and then we tabulate all the scores for our position round, so we'll be back shortly. All right, I'm back. So, this was something that we really didn't think of. We were going to break for position round like we always do after 5 games of match play. You break for position round and all whatever. But the way this works is you just keep bowling. There are 6 pairs. You bowl 6 games. You just bowl 1 game on each pair. And it doesn't matter if you beat the guy across from you or not. You're bowling everybody. So people who were confused, and so were we, and we realized, yeah, we don't need to do that. So they could just keep on going. And as soon as we get the scores after the, oh yeah, we got some beverages over here. If we would have had these beverages earlier, we wouldn't have made that mistake.
We wouldn't have made that mistake.
No.
It's not really a mistake.
It's just not thinking ahead.
We just have we just did a format change.
Exactly, yeah, on the fly. Good thing we had all of us executives here to make that decision.
No, they don't like that in the locker room.
All right, so, we got the updates of crack staff here. All right, so leading, Trae Henrichsmeyer. Now he would be 360 over. Chad Nelson is 269 over. David Langer, 261 over. Katie Ann, 229 over. Nick Heilman, 211 over. And then Jerry Haldorf, 42 over. So the top 5 are the top 5. It's just they're going to jockey for position here. Jerry Haldorf, I said, was 42 and a half over. Rob Clemens, 42 over. Briley Howe, 41. Matt Payne, Tom Cleveland, Mark Parker, Hartle, and Caleb Pacino round out the top 12. They still want to bowl good. They still want to have a high score. They still want to make sure, even though they're really not bowling against somebody else, to give that person the win, because this is not a regular match play. I'm not saying anybody would do that, but you still want to have a higher score as you possibly can to try to move up in the standings so that there's extra points, extra money, and pride. But the guys we're going to watch, the only one that could overtake Trae, well, actually two guys could, depending on what they bowl, is Chad Nelson and David Langer. But otherwise, if Trae has a decent score and has 24, 27 bonus pins, he's going to be the leader. And he's right here on 21 and 22. Looks like Katie Ann shooting at a 7-10 on 19 and 20. Gives her spare open. Briley Howe here on 22, started out with an open. Oh, is that Trae with open and I think 21? It probably is. I haven't been paying him attention, so they are hooking on the fronts. And so now the angles are getting pretty steep. And like I mentioned to Jason, this is probably why I'm not bowling on this match play, because I would have been really struggling. Getting the ball down the lane would have maybe been no problem, but getting it to finish would have been a problem. I don't know, so Trae went split, spare. I had the wrong person. He's going to get a different bowling ball. Good move for him. He had to walk around all of our cords and all whatever, so he couldn't just go right straight up the back. So it'll take some time getting back down there.
think it's a little too late to decide that. To not have one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I mean,
Hey, it looks like John Foss is watching. John, this was the first Sunday that I was at a triple shift bowling center and you were not here working. What's going on? You're slacking off now or what? I might have to stand up where I can see over the monitor kind of see what's going on. All right, Matt Payne struggling a little bit there with open, and a baby split. Katie Ann throwing the ball down lane 20. Good solid strike there after struggling a bit the first 3 frames. Nick Heilman over on 17 and 18. He's got open strike. Rob Clements is on that same pair. Open turkey for Nick. Matt Payne says, "Get me out of here." Thomas Cleveland pretty deep on lane 23. Is it out to the marker? You got into my way there, whatever, but he didn't go high. Matt splashes him out of there for a strike. So the real match, or not necessarily the match, the real score-wise between Nick and Katie Ann. They're actually bowling for 4th and 5th place, and they're really just jockeying for position in a way, kind of, but like Nick's 30 pins behind David Langer, Katie's 30 pins behind, and Nick is 50 pins behind. So depending on score-wise, they're just going to be 4th or 5th place. But David Langer and Chad Nelson could flip-flop 2nd and 3rd to have a chance to, you want to get as high as you can, obviously, in the step ladder. Trae's going to be the leader. Nobody's going to think can catch him, only because I don't see somebody with the front 5 or 6 down there.
No, the front 2 is the most I see.
Okay, the front 2. I had that once. I had the front 3 once today.
Today?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Well, that's what I thought. I had like 220 today.
You should have had more of those games.
Oh, damn.
Now I tell you.
Now you tell me that. It's funny. I hadn't bowled in a month. I was on vacation for 2 weeks down in the Dominican. Missed the Friday before that. I had bowled at MSC, and then I didn't bowl on the Wednesday and whatever, and I didn't bowl after that. 4 weeks, almost 29 days or whatever. And I bowled Friday at 670, bowled okay today. I'm going to take 4 weeks off again.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I got to bowl next week.
I'd say the first part of May, you should maybe take about 4 weeks off again.
Oh, no, we bowl the trio class.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
trios.
You've got your summer league. That is a good summer league too.
It is really good. We have 36 lanes available, but we have either 28 or 30 three-man teams. I think we had 32 last year. Three-man teams will 6 games a night for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
That's at Flaherty. That league's been going on for a long, long time. Wherever David Langer works, that's where the league is.
Yeah, I remember that bowling in it at Maple.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
Up in Fridley when that was there. Well, the building's probably still there, but
The building is. It's a banquet hall now. Yeah. We had 32 teams there.
Yep.
It got down to about 22 or 24 teams for a while in there, but now it's back up.
I just got word we had 11-18 shot in the no-tap today at Southway, which that is
That's a high score.
If you don't know, they're hard.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
We have so far there's been a total of 3 300s. My hope is that the 300s are going to pay, maybe $125 to $150 a piece, and that's about where they're sitting right now with only 3 of them. But the high score after the first 2 weekends was, our first weekend was like a 940 was leading for 4.
4 games,
Yep.
yeah. So next Sunday, the MSC is up there.
Yep.
When I don't make the cut in the MSC, can I bowl at No 10.
I'm sure we could arrange an MSC shift for those that don't make the cut. It's last year or 2 years ago singles and doubles pattern from the USBC. So the last time we were at South Point.
No, they killed me.
Yeah,
it killed me.
They were hard there. Yeah. Anyways, I was really excited yesterday. It's always good when you run a tournament like that, and especially with the success people have had in the Kegel, and how big the scores have been, and how it's kind of affected entries and everything else, right? It was really great to see yesterday Tina Johnson, a CBA bowler. She came up and shot 1,024 with handicap, and it was second only to another handicap gal that came down from Little Falls area, 134. So your leader going into today was a 134 average gal.
Okay.
That shot 1,047 with her handicap.
Nice.
And today the 1118 was shot by a 131 average league bowler gal at Southway. So your top three spots are ladies that average 156 and below.
So you're telling me I'm a guy and average higher than that, so I'm not going to do very well?
Well, I'm going to say you should try and get up there and break that stigma.
Exactly, yeah. Well, maybe I'll bring Verna up with me.
There you go.
144.
She'd kill it. If you think about it, the low average, high handicap, throw the ball down the middle, try and knock down nine down, and you're not going to get affected by that doubles and singles pattern, right?
There you go.
But I love it.
Yeah.
To have, the demographic of handicap, and especially then also, gals leading it is about as good as it can get, because that will let you know. That should let everybody at home know, right? Like, anybody can come play then and have a chance. Anybody can come and have a chance at this. It's not just the high average scratch bowlers that are dominating this tournament.
It's easy to hit the pocket. High average scratch bowler, you get a 9 every time.
Yep.
And you're going to see 1150s and higher always. And that, to me, it turns me away a lot bowling it, because that's just, I'm going to leave a split here and there, whatever. Now, then most I can get is 1050, 1075.
Right. Yep.
So, no, it doesn't mean I'm going to go up there and shoot that on something tough, but I'd rather have them that way where it's hard to hit to the pocket.
For sure.
It's like today. I had a lot of 9 counts today. Wonder how I would have done. I'm going to run down to 13 and 14 and see how David Langer and Chad Nelson are doing over there, to try to get an idea of who's going to be flip-flopping around positions.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and mute both mics here, and we'll collect scores. Everybody's just about wrapping up, and then I'm going to have to get them into the spreadsheet and get everything sorted for the step ladder. So I'll mute the mic, and we'll be back for the start of the 5-person step ladder here, and probably not more than about, I'd say, 10 to 15 minute stops.
Okay, I'm back. We lost our signal for a little bit also. Just went down to 13 and 14. David Langer looks like he's going to be about 180 something. Chad Nelson is exactly on a Dutch going into
transition is kind of, the scores have gone from seeing 70s, 60s, and 40s to last game it was 220 or 230 that won it, and had the big ball. And now you look at scores. Trae is he's 13 under, and Payne is 30 under, 40 under pace.
This
200.
This makes
looks like they're getting a little tricky.
This to make a fun step ladder. Then you watch Trae throw the ball 100 miles an hour and solid strike. So he's got some soft, slow hook, and hard thrown in his game also. For being a young man, he's very, very solid. Somebody had 214 down there. I think that was Parker.
Is that you, 221?
Chad Nelson gets a double in the 10th, so he's going to have 210 if he gets his last one. There's a 230 up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Chad's going to have the 5th highest score minimum. Because Trae can strike out to beat him there. So that means David Langer had about the 7th highest score, maybe the 8th highest score. At least Matt didn't chop that. He just didn't get to it. Oh, you didn't see that. That was on 21 and 22. We're going to flip it over here to 21 and 22. That way we can watch Trae bowl his 10th frame. Oh, Matt also, but all eyes are on Trae for being the tournament leader. Solid strike from Matt. See, I played it better. I played it way better. I didn't have to struggle out there. I snuck into cash and no match play. I didn't have to bowl these 6 games with you guys. No struggle. Don't forget your plaques there, Briley. There's 2 of them here. See, Jerry Haldorf, I just told you. I'm just telling everybody else. I didn't make the cut. I didn't have to bowl these next 6 games and be flustered like all you guys. I didn't do that on purpose, but I like how it worked out.
Right.
You always want to make the cut. I'm joking about that, obviously. You always want to make the cut.
We like to complain about having bonus bowling,
Yes.
but we love bonus
exactly.
bowling.
Right, yeah.
You're not even a competitor if you don't like being down there and turning around and watching all of the people that didn't make it behind you.
Exactly, because then you do, hey, I made it. However bad
right.
you do.
How'd you do today? I'm still bowling.
Yeah.
Right? That's yeah, so we joke about it, but you always want to be bowling.
Oh, absolutely want to be bowling. So we're all waiting on Trae to finish. He's going to be the tournament leader. Chad's probably going to be second because he had a 2-1 game in there. I'm not sure. I think somebody might have passed David Langer. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Not your fault.
He didn't seem happy on that one.
You know, I'm sure he didn't throw it well.
No. That's a good thing. I mean, even though he got lucky there or whatever, yeah, he said, okay, we can move off that. If I throw it like that, I'm going to leave a split. I got to stay lined up and ready to bowl the next one more game. Actually, is all he has to bowl.
Well, and he went with a ball change, too, to maybe try and see what something else would look like. Obviously, he's got that luxury.
Yep.
Heading into the step ladder.
So he can be sitting around a championship game. Will be this pair, won't it? 21, 22?
1, 2, 3. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
will.
way to go, Troy, leading. I like it. You get some practice eventually on that end pair and wait for the guy to come to you. Yes, you get 2 on each. It will be that pair also. No, we go here, there, here, or no. There, here, there, here. Stay in the camera range. I'm going to shut the mic off for a little bit here while we get all those scores tabulated and get the top 5 set.
At $14.99 and a half. Chad Nelson.
Jason's down there reading out the scores. Trae Henrichsmeyer first.
4 and a half. Nick Heilman.
Chad Nelson second.
Loose on 23.
Nick Heilman is third. David Langer will be fourth. And Katie Ann Sopp-Schroeder will be fifth.
And wrapping up the top 5 at 14.26 and a half. Katie Ann Sopp-Schroeder. Two tools on 19.20 for the first match. We're going to take a picture of the top 5 quick. And then Katie Ann, Lumpy, you guys will get 2 on each. And Lumpy and IRC, you'll get the choice. You're welcome.
Taller seed gets the choice.
How do you get half a pig?
Tie to match.
Oh.
So all right, we got pictures all taken. Somebody said that taller person gets a first seed or gets a choice. Nope, that's not really what happens. So you got David Langer and Katie Ann Sopp-Schroeder will be bowling first step ladder match. It'll be on 19 and 20. The winner of that will take on Nick Heilman. The winner of that takes on Chad Nelson. And the winner of that will take on Trae Henrichsmeyer. How about that orange sweatshirt that Matt Payne is wearing? Makes his hair look red.
Yeah, them Broncos fans don't know how to dress.
Yeah, but it makes his hair look red.
He should know that is not a good color on
Hey,
him.
Matt, that orange sweatshirt makes your hair look red.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, exactly. So David Langer will have the choice. We talk about this all the time, Jason. He would be one that I think would determine if there's a lane he likes, or he might want the ball in hand at the end, just to have a chance to win.
Yep, I would say he is a person that would look more to the benefit of where he would want to finish for him, regardless necessarily of whether that makes him finish first or
Correct.
or last. He's going to go, I don't want to finish on that right lane, let's say. Yeah.
I know, like a lot of times in the PBA Tour, first of all, I know it comes down to what lane, if they like a lane better or not. And they have people behind them helping them, which they like. But I think also, do you want to be that first guy coming out of the commercial break throwing the ball? That, I think, comes into play, too.
For sure.
They might figure that out. Okay, if I start here, then after 5 frames or whatever it is. So we don't obviously have a commercial break. So
maybe we should start to add more drama. We could sell some commercial space and then run like a little 2-minute ad in between.
Yeah. Like you're thinking.
Yeah. No. Huh? Lump's still in.
No, you won it. You would win it.
Oh, you're talking the actual bowler of the decade.
The locker guy bowler of the decades, you won it because you beat Clark. So you won that. You, Brady, Will, and Matt are the 4. So you get the $300 each. So those 3 guys, as mentioned, Will Matafee, Matt Payne, Chad Nelson, Brady Stearns.
Yep.
win the 4 different categories of the Locker Guy Bowler Decades, get $300 each. Those 4 guys will bowl off at the year-end tournament. One game, and whoever's high gets the extra $300 and crown the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decade.
Prestigious.
It is.
Yes, sir. That 2-ball thing is. Oh, what's next for you?
All right, well, they're erasing the scores to get back down to all those scores off the board, start fresh. Looks like David Langer has elected to have Katie Ann start the match. Don't know what went through his mind on that, but like we talked about, some people like the fact to have the ball in hand to win, and some like to just put the pressure on the other guy. The other bowler in this instance, because this is the second time Katie Ann Sopp-Schroeder has made the stepladder finals. I remember she made it one time and had to bowl against Clark, and Clark, of course, could not let her win. So, that's not what you want to do. First frame, missing a spare, chopping it off in the hole right away. But there has never been a lady bowler winning a CBA title. Never has bowled for the title either in the title match. Lumpy throwing that motive bowling ball. I don't know which one it is. Snap out that 10 with a nice easy roll. Very good. Oh, and I'm splashing out that light hit for a double. David Langer actually had a birthday yesterday. He would be 52 years old. So in typical fashion of what I would have done, obviously, after I was high on the first one, and I'd try to throw it better and I'd be high again, or else I would have just missed really light. When you're not lined up, it's tough. But you try to break up the splits, pick up the spares. It's not a 2-frame game. Well, high again. Don't know if she's not loose yet or not, but you're right. Lumpy is a young man. I keep telling him that. He's like 17 years younger than me. He's definitely a young man. All right, easy spare for Katie Ann. I feel a bit more comfortable now. I'll get her legs underneath her, get that swing a little smoother. I'm sure she's going through her mind, listening. What would Clark tell me? Maybe she's not. I'm just saying that. Clark obviously is her coach, and he'd be here telling her that stuff. And David Langer has one of the easiest swings. Stays low to the ground. That's kind of a joke, but he does stay. If you watch, I don't think his head moves much at the. Once he gets it in a position, it stays steady. Very solid player, obviously. I've always said he's the best that we've had around here. I forget how many titles he has. He's probably up in the somewhere around 18 or 19, maybe, something like that. And he started out with a 4-bagger. And I don't want to say he's looking forward to the next match because he hasn't got this one won yet, but he's going to keep throwing them in the pocket. He's going to get 9 spares. So if Katie Ann's going to have any chance, I know it's only the 3rd frame or 4th frame for her, she must get this ball in the pocket and hopefully strike. Well, she struck, okay, so that was obviously a really lucky break. Shaking her head coming back, oh, I'm not getting it down the lane. So my guess is she's just a little nervous. And I know what it's like being out there. You do get nervous, even though it's still bowling. This is not your regular league where you just kind of stand left, throw right, shooting for big scores. This is a little bit different.
I love payouts.
Okay, perfect.
And of course, you got that one down the lane through, well, then leave the dead 10. So then you feel, okay, well, if I do that and if I hit up on it, I'm high. So she's a little bit lost. And, you know, kind of hard to get loose when your opponent has a front 4 against you right away. Our CBA president, Matt Payne, with the Bronco bright orange hoodie, stepped into our booth here.
Say hi.
Hi.
How did you do today,
thanks,
Matt
Alan.
Payne?
I led qualifying and then I didn't.
You led qualifying, then you didn't.
Then I didn't. Yeah, I led qualifying and then after that, it wasn't good. I mean,
Okay.
I started all right, but then it was bad after that.
It's a new microphone system.
I see that. It's awesome.
We're going to get a longer
I,
cord. We do roving around down there.
I'm going to go cordless. I'm going to figure out
Yeah.
how to hook
Yeah.
a cordless one up.
I like it.
I said it too. I said I was pretty much handcuffed if I had to get off the ditch, and that's exactly what happened. I had to get off the ditch, but I couldn't make anything happen in,
You're absolutely right.
and it was I
Yes.
was kind of handcuffed, and I knew grinding 170s or 180s that I could have ground out wasn't going to do anything, and
Not with the guys who look
no, and
who's in there.
I know.
People that can get
and
left and throw right.
I made the comment to these guys. I said, how was I supposed to know that you guys were going to go from grinding 180s to 2.0s in qualifying to going 240 or better for each game you threw? And obviously they opened up in for them, or at least they were able to trick it in to make it work.
Yeah,
And-
well, they can do that.
yeah.
That's not our forte to be able to throw the ball left to right. Nick can do it with his funky voodoo roll.
Right.
Katie Ann, well, she has that soft, slow roll that she can get the ball usually down the lane and a hook's backing up, but she's struggling this game.
Yeah. Well, it's pair to pair too. Some of these pairs.
But it's not even fair. David Langer gets a pinned handicap up there or whatever.
nice.
So,
He had 31 in the first. That's got to be a
pretty
record.
tough to do.
If you do a score correction, it'll change it. It's like if you went up there and it would change it, but. He had a 9.
Did you? So if you're looking at the score up there, for some reason, it gives David Langer 1 pin handicap. So he's got 31 in the first, which really, you can't do that.
Somehow he has 140 in the fifth, missing, having a 9 spare. So that's something. new,
Something
too.
wrong there too. So all we know is he's winning. And so if Katie's going to have any chance, absolutely has to strike here.
Does it have to do with height differential?
Well, I said that it should the shorter or the taller guy should get the choice.
I mentioned that. I mentioned that, yeah.
She has the reach advantage, so maybe he should get
The
handicapped.
tail of the tape.
Yeah.
Well, she threw that one really, really well, so I think she's
She did.
comfortable
She
now.
must have heard you wanting that strike.
Yeah, I don't think she was comfortable. I think she's a little bit nervous. Like I mentioned, you get nervous out there, and two things. She's in the step ladder, have a chance to win, and it's the second time making a step ladder, but very, very few females ever make a step ladder. So I think, hey, I got to win this for everybody. Also.
Yep.
So and then you're bowling against a guy.
And then
like
you're
David
bowling against
Langer,
Lump.
and
Yeah.
he has a four bagger, and so and now I'm sure she's going to probably. If she doesn't strike out, she's going to have more strikes than a 9 count here and there. It's going to be too late because she wasn't comfortable right away.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that. Hey, John Holmes is watching.
You would have killed it.
Oh, he would have killed it playing outside. So you
This
talk
pattern was kind of designed for him.
and then he doesn't show up.
Yeah, and then he didn't come here.
So I was telling everybody I did this thing right. I cashed.
Oh, a little frisky.
And I didn't have to bowl the 6 games of match play, and I just sat back here and I enjoyed myself, and I'm not hurting. But like Jason and I just talked, no matter what, you want to be out there in match play.
Yeah, you always want to be bowling.
We can joke and say it worked out okay, but I would have rather been down there hurting tomorrow than not making it.
For sure.
Jerry Haldorf's a little sore, I know that. He told me that. I crossed with him all day today. That was his first step ladder, or first match play.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah. His first match play in, over 15 years, but he hasn't bowled since 2010 or 11.
So at least the
Thanks. Thank you.
Fix that correctly.
About time the CBA president actually does a
something.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
that's-
all he does is bowl, and he makes.
When Chad was the president, he didn't do anything.
there you go. Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, he led qualifying and won all.
yeah. And that's all he would do.
What do you got there, Trae? Eating some cheese
I got
curds.
some cheese curds.
Are they as good as Wisconsin cheese curds?
Not quite.
Not-
Pretty close.
Okay, all right. Good to know. Like 8.1. Oh, they ain't
They're
bad.
good for Minnesota.
They're not bad for Minnesota.
For Minnesota and Classic Bowl. They got a whole new menu here now. I didn't notice that until today. I bowl here in League.
Nice.
And they must have just come out with a menu the last couple of weeks.
Is it still the Guild? All of them?
Yeah.
Triple shift? Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but when I went to make that change, on the first frame it had a strike with a 1 next to it. Nice. That's my favorite frame to throw.
Strike
So
one.
what did you do to get that off of there?
Oh, I did score correction and just score corrected the 2 to a 2, and it,
Oh, okay. So that's what you did to get that out of there.
He
So you
changed
really
the 2 to a 2.
and it took care of the 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this new math.
Push. Good shot.
Well, okay. We thought she was dead out of the water, right?
Yeah, and
She
then
can still
Lump-
have 217.
Yeah, and he
If
chops
he was
that
to
bucket.
go open, he's only 2-0. So,
spare open.
no, I'm just saying if
Yeah,
David
if he would
Langer
have-
wants to go
yep.
open, he could have just 2-0.
Yep.
And then Katie Ann could double and beat him.
Yep.
Even though he thought the match was over.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, solid 3-pin.
Yeah, that it was a little uncharacteristic too. I mean, we talk all the time. Lump's a really good spare shooter, even though he doesn't use a spare ball.
Right.
Doesn't throw plastic or whatever, but he breaks it down really good, and he's very accurate and good at it. Uncharacteristic to take the 2 on the left off that bucket.
And I don't think he liked that spare shot either, or whatever. But no, he just needs to stay clean.
No, he's no. Because he can strike up for 225. She can strike up for 217.
He just needs to stay clean for 220. Doesn't need a double.
You can shoot 235.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs to stay clean to shoot 225.
Way off.
And
I'm bad.
well, too many cheese curds.
I know.
You're counting cheese curds, and
Yeah.
you forgot you had so many of them left. So that's
right.
just enough to win.
Yeah, good shot.
It would have been kind of fun just to see what Katie Ann would have done if she would have had the chance.
Yeah.
You always want the chance. All right, well, David Langer is going to move on to bowl against Nick Heilman, and that'll be on 21 and 22.
Yep.
And Nick will have the choice of who's going to start the match or what lane he likes better.
I think
would
Lump's
say-
going to be pretty happy to get off this pair.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if he...
Back to it.
Well, I mean, yeah, and if he does well, he's going to go back. But then I'm sure he'll kind of think of a different game plan,
I just
maybe a ball or a different attack, whether that's hand, speed, whatever it is. He'll come up with something
He'll come up
different.
with something.
Yeah.
like what he did in that 8th frame. I don't know what he did to leave the bucket. Maybe a little lack of focus.
I think he got. It just looked
Yeah.
fast
Yeah.
to me.
Probably just
Yeah.
going through the motions because he didn't really need it. Didn't think he needed it, I guess, whatever. But he's never going to be one to give away pins or anything. He knows better. But it's easy to just kind of get a little lackadaisical. All right, 225 to 1. Well, if she picks it up, she's going to get in the 190s after that start. And as far as how nervous she was, that's a pretty good score. I'm saying she was nervous. She might not have been.
Well, and she's bowled a ton. I mean, she was. I don't know if Nebraska won while she was on the team, but I know she made some appearances in like the TV coverage of like collegiate.
Oh, okay.
So I know she's. I mean, she's been on the stage before and she's had that pressure, but I think it is a little different when, especially you're maybe going against the other gender too. And I agree with you. I mean, obviously, Katie Ann and Kayla, they both make the cut today, and they're accomplished female bowlers. They do great.
Well,
but I'm sure they probably feel a little bit where in this exact event, the CBAs or our tournaments, there haven't been a lot of them that have gone super deep into the step ladders or anything like that. So I'm sure it weighs a little on your mind, like you said, win one for all of us,
Yeah,
to be
right.
the
That's what I'm
first to
thinking.
break through,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, Kayla and Katie Ann were 1 and 2 in the Minnesota Queens
Yeah.
that they just had
Yep.
a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah.
I wish we would have had one of the match play or the step ladder games on 23 and 24 just to see what people would have done
Yeah.
in 23 because it was hard to get the ball down the lane towards the end.
Yeah, 20.
Well, you can warm up on that. We'll see what you shoot.
My hot take is 19 and
Yes, sir.
21 and 2 are most good
Yeah.
pairs.
Those two hooking?
You don't get practice.
Have you ever seen Chad like a single pair that he's been told he's going to?
No, not
ever
one time.
in history.
Not even one time.
Always rolls the eyes. Well, that's a good pair. Then he goes down there and shoots 240. Right?
How you bowling?
Huh?
Or
You get
shit?
2 on each. Yeah.
What was Nick confused about?
I don't know if they didn't think Lump got practice or whatever.
I made a
Right?
comment to Chad that he doesn't get practice.
Oh,
they
they
thought
thought I was
telling
talking to him.
Lump doesn't get practice. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
get him either.
Yeah. No.
He's just like rolling it at the line damn near when they need to get the ball down the lane. He doesn't. I don't think he thinks it's hooking as much as other people think possible. He's not. Firing
I'm
it
watching
down.
him get around that ball return in the new. Oh, jeepers! We should probably follow where the action is.
We'll just watch the pins.
Yeah, they
down
look good there.
yeah.
The new, Lumpy 2.0, little thinner and a little more in shape. He gets around that ball return nice now. Ball just drops right in there, comes past the hip. He looks great inside.
That's got to be a head game right there. They're going to re-rack these 10 pins. I like it. I think plays all mental.
I think so. Huh?
I do.
I'm not sure on that one.
You can get their head.
Oh, if you can get somebody's head, yes, absolutely.
You can stand there.
Okay, I don't know if that.
I was just going to go clear scores.
They're too good of friends. Yeah, okay. But yes, getting into somebody's head, if you can do that, you kind of won most of the time. Yeah.
Haugen Jr. tried to do that to McNeil at the Masters. So
Yeah, I remember you were there watching, right?
I was, and he
Yeah.
was. So they're bowling. McNeil's started stringing strikes. Well, then Haugen went up there and he threw his shot, struck. He came back and he goes tape. And he went up and played with tape, and then got up there, tape again. We went and played with tape, and he's just slowing, like trying
Yeah.
to slow it down to a point where I don't know if he was trying to get in his head. I don't, I'm assuming there was games played. But,
Probably, yep.
That's smart.
But and then he did it like the next couple of times too. Like he'd get up, he'd take his sweet time getting tape in and out of the ball, and it's the same piece of tape he'd take in and he'd take out. And he just kept doing it.
But then
Matt beat him.
You beat him, didn't he? I remember watching that. I remember you guys were there, and didn't he like get a double or something there? Kind of slapped it off in front of him too, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
That, hey, I don't care what you do. What was really good at that tape thing was Norm Duke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or the blocking at the line, whatever. He wouldn't care if you got fined that time because he was going to win that much more money.
Right. Yeah.
He did it. So those guys do that stuff all the time, kind of under. Don't look like they're really being that way for the spectators. Don't look like it, but down there, those guys know.
Oh yeah.
Because they all look like they're nice guys. Well, and they are, but they all want to win. But I mean, what kind of gets me nowadays is the hugging and all that stuff. When they, it's like, come on, man. Old-time baseball players didn't like that stuff at all. You didn't talk to them other opponents.
Right.
Okay, well, Nick, I didn't really watch where it went, but obviously it was high for a split, so I wonder if that's the reason why he wanted to finish on the left lane. We're always discussing this. Does it really matter, or do people just want to get done first opposed to score?
It's interesting because I think the later we get in the day, people want to finish on the left lane because you have more room. I agree with
that.
You're freer
yes.
to make. If you have to punch out now, you're a little bit freed up because you can move. That's a Finnegan's.
And I agree with you on that. But it seems like everybody who comes on the bowl has the other guy start.
Yeah.
Without even thinking of what lane. Uh-oh. Whoa. He got away with that one in his mind there. So. David Langer hasn't won a CBA in a while.
He hasn't bowled too many of them either, though.
No, he hasn't.
He's picked it up lately, the last couple of years.
It's kind of funny now. He's not bowling league at all. He just bowls tournaments.
I didn't know that. I thought he was still bowling at Flaherty's.
No, he hasn't bowled with us at all in the last year, 2 years. Last year and this year, mainly because he works on Friday nights. Sure. And that place. So we bowl. There's 3 leagues in that house. Like the first 6, a couple lanes off, and we have 10, and then the high end has like 12 teams, whatever, something like that. And then when they're done at 9 o'clock, 9:15, there are 50 people in line waiting for lanes.
It's
so
crazy.
He's got to get back up there and get them all signed in, shoes, whatever. And so he still has to do that in the summer when we bowl. Not quite as many, but we always have him bowl first. And our team bowls fast anyway, so he gets up there and he can start doing that stuff right away. That place is phenomenal for the bowlers that just come in. That place.
I joke. I went down there to get a trophy fixed because we had a eagle wing get broken off on one of our trophies, and I walked down there and it was got there on a Wednesday at like noon, and it was packed, and I was like, how does this even happen? You go anywhere else and there's 5 people in there and 4 of them are workers.
Well, we always talk about the places that are at Cedarvale, Flaherty's, and Country Club. It's only got 12 lanes at Country Club, but they're all individually family-owned places.
Right.
They're packed all the time because they're the ones that need the money for the family. Now, Decula's is another one that's crowded all the time. I don't go to a lot of the other ones, so I really don't know what they're like. But I always hear that they don't open until 4 o'clock, or they don't because there's no leagues going on there, whatever the reason is. I don't know. Up here, Classic Bowl, the closest bowling center to here is Super Bowl in Anoka or Blainburg. Now, or also Bolero.
Bolero, I was going to say, which is literally down the block.
Exactly. They're like half a mile apart. And I don't know, Blainburg is a really cool place to go if you're into playing games and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
As far as pinball and whatever, that's a cool place.
2 more matches.
All right, let's get back to this. So, David Langer just goes strike, spare. He's going to stay clean, keep it in play there. Nick got a strike there, but starting out, it always amazes me, which happens to me and happens to everybody. You get 4 practice shots on the pair, and your first one's through the nose for a split.
Right.
Where I can understand where maybe you wouldn't carry a 7 or a 10, but you should throw the ball in the pocket. You would think.
Right.
But then again, it also tells you this is not a house shot.
Right. Not even close.
No, we were talking about focusing.
Yeah.
You got to stay focused on your shot, but then like we were also talking about, what do you say, Jason? You call it a clear mind, clear or empty mind, empty hit, whatever you want to call it, just to go through the motions and throw the ball. When your physical game is really good, you don't think about anything but just kind of going.
Right.
But when you bowl 100 games a week, your physical game should be pretty good, I guess.
I would hope so.
The repeating shots should be easy to do. Yeah, we're talking about like David Langer does not bowl league anywhere, so he'll take 3-4 weeks off and come out and win an MSC. He'll come out and do whatever. And he's bowled enough. His physical game is right there. John East, Sam Lanto, they could take them, and the only difference is they don't have strength when you come back to bowl because you have to build that stuff back up. But their game is there.
Yeah.
Brad Subek was one of those. Uh-oh. I don't know why I thought that was going to back up more than it did. But,
More concerned at overreacting than backing up.
yeah, well, one
No.
or the other, yeah. So talking to Trae, when he was just in our booth a little bit ago eating his cheese curds, didn't really ask him what's going on, but he sounded very, very confident
Yes.
that he's just going to whack him.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got that confidence.
Fear.
No fear,
now.
exactly.
We should have.
That was the booth cam that we have. We're gonna come up with this. We talked about it, Matt. That we're gonna do some. We're gonna screen behind us, and then we can bring people into the booth and have conversations with them. And
Like you.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like now.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well,
I was thinking
Only
other
maybe.
bowlers.
Yeah. Only maybe like also like when they're getting ready before the match. Like right now, we could be talking to Chad. You know, like what's your game plan?
We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
So in about the 8th frame, 7th frame, we'll get Chad back here and let's do that.
I like it.
We want to start doing that, and then I used to do this in the Northwest Community Television. I used to televise a lot of our step-ladder finals. I'd go down there and talk to the bowlers and say, like, what's your plan of attack?
Sure.
Both of them down there, and okay, I'm going to use this ball, pin up all this or whatever, you know. And so I think we want to kind of start to do
that
that
didn't
kind of
sound
stuff.
like an 810, and yet
No.
an 810 is still standing there.
Yeah.
That's
Well, up he goes. Yeah, I left a 7-10, he leaves an 8-10. What difference does it make? It's still split.
That's one of those like combo bad breaks at the same time. Like maybe you should have left an 8-pin but not the 10, or maybe 10 and not an 8.
Same with the 7-10.
Especially the way it sounded and the way ball reaction. It did.
Right.
Did I hear where Brady Stearns left 7-10s today?
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
I only left one. That's probably why I beat him by 4 pins.
He was a little steamy.
He was.
Yeah, he
Carl,
didn't stay long.
then Carl Campos showed up.
Yeah, then Carl
Yeah.
showed up.
Now they're going to have some casino therapy.
Yes.
They'll get over it quick, I'm sure. Well, he will get over it
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Carl doesn't care.
Yeah, he didn't care.
He'll hit a slot machine and he'll be fine.
Well, this is turned into a nice tight little match.
A
here.
2-pin match.
Yeah.
Sure did. Amazing what an 8-10 and a 7-10 in the same frame will do.
Right, right.
I didn't watch Lumpy's 8 or 7-10 that close, but I watched Nick's 8-10. That should have been just one of the 2 pins or whatever. So, I mean, it could have been a strike even. So he could have
Right.
had 4-bagger up there or whatever.
And really put the screws to
Yeah, exactly. So that's where the breaks and the good or bad breaks. Any bad break is good for the other guy.
Right.
So
Oh,
Tape
Oh,
not
tape.
feeling right.
tape.
Well, he
tape.
got up and started putting his hand in, and something didn't feel right.
Speaking of like time, you know, you take your time and stuff, whatever. I heard watching the tour the last couple of times, whatever, that if you're slow, you get a warning.
Yes.
The second one is you get zero.
Correct.
That is
There is
correct.
no more fine for like 100,
Correct.
$200, whatever.
No longer can the sponsor pay your fine for
Yeah,
being slow.
that is a really good thing to keep everything, especially on TV when they got a commercial and all that stuff. You got to get going.
Well,
So
we've talked about it a long time, right? The slowest player will dictate the pace,
Yes.
and there's nothing until you do something like this, until you have some type of a shot clock penalty.
You can.
There's nothing you can do as a faster player to be more defensive, but the slow player has defense.
I've always
they
said,
can slow you down and tick you off, or,
you
or
can
take you out of
only
your
go.
rhythm.
You can only go as fast as the slowest bowler in the
Yep.
house.
Right.
Yep.
So that's why we should entertain. I'm not sure if it would ever work. The double jump rule, because everybody gets on at the same time.
Sure.
But that's slower. In my opinion, that's slower because you always got to wait for this guy or that guy.
Right.
And of course, we have one lane courtesy, so it's not going to work anyway. But there's some people who are slow bowlers also on two
that
lane
a ball
courtesy.
change?
Yes, that
Yes,
was
it
definitely
is.
a ball
Yeah.
change. So, and he's definitely not afraid to ever do that in the middle of a game when
No.
it's not working right. I was talking
Well,
about what he could do with his hand and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure he just went, 7-10, I didn't see it, I was gone, but then he went 7-10, dead 10.
Yep.
So I'm sure in his mind I need something, I need a different look.
Well, it looked different.
He achieved what
I
he
mean,
wanted.
I needed it to go through the pins differently,
Okay, well, Nick is pretty well lined up. Minus that 8-10, where I think it was just whether he did something a little bit different here, or hit a high board down there, I don't know, but I think he's going to strike here, and then he's just going to sit down and hope the lumpy doesn't double. And
pretty sure he'll celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
he's going to slap it
He's a
off.
big celebrator.
Andy will celebrate. Uh-oh. Looks like he didn't like it, did he?
You see all the emotion right
Yeah,
there?
there it is.
I said that earlier. I said, oh, he didn't like that one, and Terry McKinney says, Nick always strikes when
I
he
saw
doesn't
that,
like
yeah,
the shot.
yeah. He strikes every time he doesn't like it. Yeah.
I wish I had that problem.
Yeah.
I
No,
really do.
he throws the ball and he goes, hey. He did that one. I'm going out to shoot my 2-8 spare, and I hear him say, hey. And I go like, did you say that? And he goes, this I'm talking about Matt Payne now. And he goes, yeah, I said it. He goes, I threw the ball and it went right where I wanted it to. So I go, hey.
Look at that.
Look at that, yeah.
It-
Whatever
it
reason,
did
it cracked me up when I'm up on the approach bowling there. Hey. Because usually I say something worse than that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to throw it for a strike or anything. I mean, until after I got done. But it was funny to me. Hey.
Hey.
Chad.
We can give him the rolling one.
You can give him the Roman.
People can hear him.
Well, you hold over here. We're going to put you on the booth cam. On a booth cam. Let's get back over here. We're going to ask.
Oh.
There we go. That was our first booth cam interview.
We are so high tech.
Oh, we're high-tech stuff
We
here.
are moving
Whatever.
up.
Now we'll get Trae back up here after when he's going up there. Hopefully he's done with his cheese curds so he can talk without food in his mouth. All right, what do we got going here? Oh,
Good shot, Nick.
so 203. If you just mark the 10th here, or 9 out.
202.
Lumpy's going, give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Give me a shot at him. That's what we say when we want to stick somebody in our Friday night league. Give me a shot at him.
Yeah, that's, not unexpected conversation from Chad.
Right.
He's oh, there, yeah, dead 10. He's looking at it from a standpoint of, it's not me versus so-and-so, it's me versus the lanes, and I'm going to pick which lane I want to finish on, I'm
getting a phone call, but I'm not answering it.
There's a lot of, just what you would expect to hear out of somebody that's won 40 times and has
Correct,
taken
yes.
second 35 times. He's got the mindset that you'd expect to hear out of that kind of experience.
Absolutely.
You
And
know?
he said everything
Yeah.
that I expected him
Yep.
to say.
Yeah.
I would just think about more about his bowling ball selection.
Ball
So I said he
choices
started
are
the
really
journey.
smart. Yeah.
He would go to an IQ Ruby if.
Yeah.
And then what was the next?
Virtual energy blackout.
Yes, right.
And good choices across the board there. The journey is definitely going to be something that's going to pick up sooner. So if he's trying to get the ball down lane, the IQ Ruby will be a little cleaner, but it's actually quite a bit less down lane. And so that's obviously one of the reasons that comes into play in his mind. And then the virtual energy blackout has got that REX cover on it, which is extremely clean. That's what's going to get him definitely down lane. From there, that though is an asymmetric and is going to have a little bigger engine to recover, as we see Lumpy get two of them.
So I'm looking back at this
when
game.
it doesn't matter. It's,
Well, I'm looking back at this game, and Lumpy had that 7 count in the 4th frame.
Yep.
If that's a 9 count,
That's-
he has a chance to win
Yep,
this thing,
and
whatever.
that's-
So all pins count all the time, whatever. Now,
you bet.
and then, of course, the 8 count by Nick in the 9th gave him a. If he would have 7 there, or if he
Yep.
doesn't strike the first one and 10 leaves 10 pin, yeah. So that was a really close match, even though we didn't really talk about it a lot. Keep going,
So-
you got endless 10th frame.
Anyways, I'm not overly surprised.
Keep going. Nice game, nice match.
With Chad's choices, and I think going forward as we watch this match and see what he does, it'll be interesting to see which dynamic. If he has to move out of that journey, which dynamic he takes. Does he take the not a whole lot cleaner, but definitely less down lane motion, or does he take the much cleaner ball with still more recovery than down lane?
Which one's more recovery?
The energy blackout, virtual energy
Okay.
blackout.
So-
much cleaner cover, but it's got
Is the Ruby cleaner through the front?
not a ton. That's what I was
on
saying.
the journey?
Correct. Not a ton more. That's what I was saying. But it's going to be a lot less down lane motion, right? So it's going to maybe get to about the same spot, but not have as much shape and not kind of peel off the spot as much.
Speaking
It'll
of
be
that,
interesting to see.
that virtual energy blackout, how many people have that use it dull, or most people have it shiny?
A lot of people with the React-to-Gloss shine will definitely take a pad just to knock, and I don't even want to say knock the shine off, because I do the same thing. I take a very worn 2000 grit pad, and I just want to knock. It just seems like that React-to-Gloss has got, maybe it's just a little too waxy. I'm not sure, but it just seems to be a little over-undery.
Okay.
And a lot of people do that.
I have mine dull now because I had dulled up a few tournaments ago. I don't use it anymore because, first of all, I don't go in a league where I could use it like that.
Right.
And it was definitely too dull for today right away. I thought I could be using it, but so I don't know if I should do that or if I should shine it up, take the original shine off of it, but have it not really dull.
Now
I
that-
can't use it
yeah.
anymore.
I was going to say, I don't think he's going to throw the journey. I watched
Yeah.
2 or 3 shots.
And so he's
face.
so he's going to
Changed
that
it the
Ruby.
which I used mine most of the day today after I got out of my Hammer 2.0, whatever that Black Udo 2.0. Mainly because that was pinned down and my Ruby pinned up, and I liked it the rest of the day. I'm just not good enough to keep it in play, and missed a couple of single pins today.
Yeah, see, so it's not a lot longer. It's a little longer, yes, but not much. And It's just a little less down lane.
Our match was that boring.
Scott Anderson
Maybe slap one
says,
off once in a while.
Matt, please take off that awful orange jersey.
Ah, it's better than a purple thing.
Yeah, okay. Might make your red hair look better, though. So, Denver Broncos.
And now he's got that blackout.
Twins pullover. I'll start wearing those.
Okay.
Here you go.
Denver Broncos. Is that
Well, that was a move in, too, though.
You like the Broncos? You're from there? You
like the Broncos.
like the Broncos. Okay, I wasn't sure if...
Does this go back to Terrell Davis? Yep.
okay, we disconnected and connected again. All right.
All right, so, yep, Chad's going to have Nick start. So I did see Chad throw both Ruby and the blackout, but the blackout was on the left. Yeah, it was on the left lane. Yeah, it was on the left lane, and he had moved in with that one, and it still went through the face. So, yeah, he's right from the horse's mouth as he walked over here. He said, I'm going to move deeper. I didn't like either one of them. I'm going to move deeper and throw the journey.
Okay, all right. Good to know. So he had a
How was your nap?
plan.
Yeah.
He had a plan and went back to the original, kind of evolved but deeper
Yeah.
with it.
Yep.
Glad to see where.
So he took really advantage of his 4 shots.
Yeah, he did.
Figured him out.
He took the ball he had been
Yep.
using. 2 shots didn't look good. He used one each with the other.
Yeah, he had 2 8 outs on strikes. Mine were 9. I was right, but isn't that great? You look at it, you go,
Yeah, and that's still through the face.
It's like the same.
He's going to have to get a little deeper.
It's your 7 count.
There's a 7 count and 8.
oh, right. Well, actually, the 9th and the 3rd, the 4th, and he carried one in the 3rd and turned it into the 3rd and 4th. Because he came out.
Oh, yeah. God, you could just see that check up at about like 45-ish feet and felt that was trouble right away.
Maybe she
All
was
right.
throwing the journey at the 610. He might have got it.
Well, it would have hooked more, but yeah,
Well, he
probably
might
hooked
have
past
missed
it.
This place to me, corners hooked out of the gate. You throw it a corner, throw it a 10, and game 1, it seemed like there was the ball tend to read versus with plastic.
That's I bowl here in league, and that's what it's like here all the time.
It's crazy.
Okay, and there he got deep enough.
And he came on the left lane.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I don't know if he's going to have to get like in front of the. I didn't pay attention to where he was standing to start on the
I
first
didn't either.
frame, but obviously he went through the face. It wasn't a good shot, and then chopped it on top of it.
The ball return, what it'll do is it'll walk
Around it.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Nick kind of did right there.
Well, and that's both of these guys have a little bit of that right to left move, crossover steps, and,
Yep.
and getting the body out of the way of the ball swing, that kind of thing.
You know, Matt and I just looked at each other as Trae struck on 23. We looked at each other, yeah, nobody's going to beat him. He's,
Yeah.
because we talked about having it on 23, 24, because 23 is the lane that really looks a lot. He goes, let me have that lane.
Yeah.
Okay, and he just threw like a little solid strike I've seen on 23 in 4 games.
Little high flush 7,
Yes.
good shot.
Bad break there,
Yeah,
because
not
that would have
much
been
you
a
can-
double.
You can
Yep.
see the emotion on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's livid. Absolutely livid.
So I talked to him a while ago, asked him what he does for work, when he's not in the clothes shop in the winter, or he works cutting grass for the city of La Crosse. And he goes, I can be out there on my mower all day long, I don't have to talk to anybody. And I'm going, that job would not be for me. So there are jobs for everybody, and that one's not for me. I'd be going, can I have somebody ride along with me?
I can actually kind of picture, Nick, no headphones, no music, just the buzz of the mower
Yeah.
and
A dog with them.
solitude
Maybe
and
a
a
dog
dog.
and a
Yep,
cat
and
area with
solitude.
them,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can see that.
Oh, he was in front of the
He
ball
was in
return.
front of the ball return. Yep. Oh, that was a good move. Yeah, good play.
Okay, so he was a solid 7, a solid 9. Both could have had doubles on bad breaks or whatever. The $1 million 9-pin, he's all over it.
Yeah, he's a little disappointed in that. He knew that was a pretty good shot, pretty good move.
He's got the right ball in hand.
You have no choice.
I don't. Oof. Can't throw it that good again.
Oof.
There's no way I'd
No.
I make a move so I can spray it worse. That's all.
Okay,
I
there
just,
you go. I'm not going to leave a 9, but I'm also going to leave like a bucket.
All right, good shot. There it is. Oh.
Qualifying, that was it. You leave it 9 feet, if I move, I know I'm in the bucket.
Yeah, we had talked about that. It was during the match play. We had Clements. That's who it was. We had Clement in front of us, and he was struggling on. Well, it was 23-24. We were watching. Through the face, kind of for Nick. Little high 4. Kind of fortunate just to have the 4. Anyways, and Clem just could not get the ball like to the tracer down lane, and just couldn't get it there. And then the one time he got it one board right of the tracer, almost a washout. Like, did not get to the head pin and left the 1, 2, 4, So they're that finicky at about, 48 feet, 45 feet.
I just told Trae, sorry, but you can't bowl on 23-24 for a championship match. You don't get to pick your pair.
Yeah.
But I told him about the 8th frame. You want to have him come up here into the booth and have a little conversation with him.
Yeah, see where his mind's at.
Yes, and see what because he said what he did on 23, because I'm not going to do that in that match. I'm just seeing if I have to, can I?
Ooh, yeah. And, I mean,
David Langer stops into the booth.
You're in for the first time in a while.
I like it.
Not the rest of us, because he beat. See, if he wouldn't have been here, I might have made the cut.
The guy that runs it likes it.
Yeah,
The rest of you bowlers should be scared.
exactly. Yeah. So.
Case in hindsight, we should have had probably a position.
No, no.
Bring it up.
Well, I mean, you're not in it anymore.
13, 14.
Yeah. So maybe we should rethink it next time.
That was the funniest thing, though. As soon as you said that, right in my head
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Because we always do. Never thought of a thing. And I can't tell you how much.
I don't know if some of this that we're seeing out of like Nick's overreaction, might be Chad getting in. I don't know if they're breaking down that fast, like if Chad has gone inside of him and he's starting to take away a little from him, or if he's just being a little surprised by how much friction he's seen. We'll see what kind of move Chad made there. Yeah, that floated a lot better.
I don't think he moved it all.
He found the spot. I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay.
That might be the straightest I've seen him walk forward when bowling.
Oh.
Because typically, when he walks, like you said, he
Yeah,
goes
he's
off to the left.
yeah.
And he literally was
Ball return on the right lane. Is he standing the same exact spot on the left lane, same board?
he might be a little further left.
On the left lane. Well, that's what I would think.
Yeah, and then now we see a 9-pin, which again, I mean, sometimes when you start getting that far left, if your angles get that big, you're still throwing it to the desert that's out there, So being tighter sometimes when you get in there is the better move. And you can see the ball float on 20. On 19, we just saw it check and go through the face where he has more room if he would want it.
He said that earlier when we were talking on 23, that because he kept moving, whatever, and he goes, the more I move left, if I open up my angles more, and I hit the friction sooner, then
That's
it
it.
would hook too high anyway. So.
You bet.
Chad's looking over here with his thumb down. Ain't working. He left 2 9-pins. Then he's got a 13-pin lead in the 5th frame. Could have had
There
like
you
a
go.
5-bagger in
Yep,
there.
good shot, Nick.
Nick's not going to give up at all. Nick is actually talking during the match. Wow, that's a lot of conversation for Nick.
He said 14 words there in a really short span of time.
In between
And
the
it
shots.
was a great match.
See you. Good luck next time, as
Yeah.
Bob Hansen always said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. John Foss is watching again, and I said, John, I'm at a bowling tournament at a triple shift
yeah.
tournament or place. You're not here. He's always working at a triple shift place.
He is.
On a Sunday. Whatever.
Yes, he is.
That was not what Nick wanted to do right after he struck in that sixth frame.
Well, and it's back to back on the left lane.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So it's 2 times
Hi,
where he's
John.
found, obviously, just either more friction than he was expecting to find on a move, or he hasn't moved enough.
So, Chad left solid 9 and a strike on this one. We don't know. You guys assume he moved off that solid 9 strike. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Well, and he needs to. Yeah. And if anything, I think he should maybe move and shut the angle down a little on 19, because I think that's what he's doing on 20 here. Yeah, that's very straight.
Almost seems like it picks up speed. And then your 6-pin just got.
Well, and that would be. I guess I don't know how I busy working it, whatever. I didn't do the count on the number of lefties, how deep they got. I know Manhart was in the field. He gets deeper than a lot of lefties.
Brandon Hansen.
Yeah, and Brandon isn't scared to get in either. But I mean, the more he moves left, if there wasn't a ton of lefties that moved right, then I'm not surprised if he did make a move in and then he found a little more wiggle. I mean, oil is going to make it actually kind of pick up that speed as it goes. So, yeah, if there wasn't a lot of left-hand traffic, he's maybe going to kind of get into that little wiggle zone.
I think Manhard used your thing all day long, I believe, right?
Then he's...
Or no, never mind, not your thing. That's what it was. The blue
NU.
one. The NU.
Well, what is it then?
It's not your thing.
Oh,
So
there we go.
That light
Yep.
hit there after leaving a solid 9.
Yep.
So he say he moved after both those solid 9s. He was a dead 10 and splashes one. At this point of the game, he just needed to make sure he stayed clean. So
Well,
he do make an extra move left. If he would have needed a strike, would he? Didn't want to be a little higher flush, I would think.
Good shot, Nick. I would say, a guy like Chad with the tools in the box, if he has the pocket already and he needed the strike, he would try and just, speed or release kind of.
If he really needed a strike, yes.
Yeah.
I think
When all you need to do probably is kind of hang around the pocket and not get in trouble, then just keep doing what you're doing.
That's what I think he did
Yeah.
those last couple of
Yeah.
shots. But now Nick, he strikes here. He puts the pressure on a little bit because he could get to 2-0. He needs to be setting himself up for a 2-0, and he didn't. So now it's no problem whatsoever. So Chad's going to win this game.
Yeah.
We'll get Trae Henrichsmeyer up here in a little bit for a little booth cam interview. 203, 202. Oh, the first game?
Yeah. Chad would have to do something dramatic here.
225 for Lumpy, first game. Because we were talking
Oh, because he could have punched for 230.
35, yeah, 225, and Katie Ann just spared
190
something because she just spared the 10th frame. Trae, come on up here.
I'll watch the telecast back and find it.
Get our booth cam on.
It's okay, we were watching 20.
All right, finishing out this match here. Chad obviously had like no problem. Shoots 220. Nick ran into trouble on that 5th and 7th frame where he had the splits.
He has the splits.
Another good tournament for Nick Heilman. He's always a guy that he seems to be some way gets to the step ladder like all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With or without Andy Mills here.
Well, that's why he does. 'cause he
Oh,
doesn't have to split
there
with
you
it.
go.
Yeah,
right.
Today especially, that's how he finds his way in the step ladder.
Yeah.
It's the no Andy motivation. Oh, this is all my money?
And then when,
Maybe
then
I'll
when-
shift.
Then when Andy shows up, I guess
Fifth
Andy
gear.
just bolts so that Nick doesn't have to because Andy wins the money? No, I don't know if that's the way it goes or not. But, oh, it looks like people can't hear us for what's going on. Can anybody hear us? Let us know now.
Hello. Yeah, give yourself a strike, buddy.
Okay, we don't know why you can't hear us. Let us know if you can.
Anyone?
Anyone? Now it's okay. Good to know. Wonder what happened there.
He had 183.
Well, apologies if it cut out during the Trae interview. Then
Oh, you can hear us until we switch to camera views. Could not hear the interview. Well, that's disappointing.
Well, sugar.
Oh. All right. Well, Trae basically, I guess I'll try to paraphrase a little bit of what he said. He said on 21. Well, basically, he said he's coming into this with an open mind. We'll just start with that. He said he threw a UFO alert when he was on 21 and 22 when he ended qualifying, and he switched to a phase 5 on 23 and 24 during practice. And so he said he's going to kind of come into this with an open mind. He said 21 and 22 hooked more than any other pair he had been on basically today. So during that last game of qualifying, or match play, I mean, he was said he was just kind of trying to trap it at the head pin.
Right.
And so, anyways, that kind of a little synopsis of what he had to say during the interview about how he was going to attack it and what he had done going up to that.
I had asked him if he was, because when he was warming up on 23, 24, he was lofting the ball a little bit, and I asked him if he was going to do that, and he says, "Oh, let's see if I need to do that or not." So he's very, very confident young man and very, very talented physically. So he'll be able to figure it out, and I expect to have. We talked about if he shoots 220, probably has. He said if I can stay clean, get a turkey in there somewhere. So if he has like 250, 220, it probably will be a pretty good game to win.
And that is part of what I like to hear out of him too. Was I feel like if I could just try to knock down 9, maybe catch a turkey, I feel like I've got a chance. I mean, that's
kind of what he said,
some
yes.
wisdom beyond his years for sure with the mindset. Now, of course, a lot of that is going to be dependent upon Chad. What Chad throws
What
at
makes him do, correct.
9 isn't going to be very good if Chad's got
Same
front
journey?
5. So, all right, darn it.
Steve Bone, Trae did not say he's going to throw it like Mike Wirtz, just so you know.
Yeah, no, he did not.
First of all, he can't. So he's not going to. Who can throw it like Mike Wirtz?
He hurt himself trying to throw it like
Exactly. So Chad just come up here and said that we have a bet you win pot, and Chad wanted to split the bet you win pot with Trae, but Trae's not in. So
go Trae.
go Trae.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Those at home that want to bowl next, or not next month, this would be actually a carryover to the year end.
April year-end tournament. Yes.
If you want even a little more added money in the year end, you should start clapping for Trae.
So this is Trae's third CBA or second CBA and third because he bowled the Minnesota Masters and he bowled a tournament at Park Row. This is actually his second CBA, third tournament coming up over here. So his second CBA tournament, he's leading.
Yep.
And when he throws the ball like that and snaps out those things, Chad's going, "What do I got to do to win?"
He was going to go out those doors and then realized he was parked out those doors. So he turned around and went back out.
That'll happen.
He could have walked around outside.
I
Was that my tab? Oh, you could have.
So, what I like about this is this is where, Chad said I'd like to take my chances on 21 and 22 against the young kid.
He did say that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of actually has got me a little excited for the match because I kind of want to see what he has in store then, what his mindset was, of like what he thinks he sees. So I think what he sees is he doesn't like the left lane as much because he's starting,
Yeah.
so he's going to want to get himself
Well,
on the right lane to finish. Or he sees Trae not liking the right lane.
no,
Or
Trae gets-
left
Trae
lane,
gets
I
a
mean.
choice.
Yeah, Trae had the choice.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's right. He's the higher seed.
Yeah. So we, so far everything has worked that way all the time, where the bowler wants to go 2 frames at a time
Yeah.
and put the score up. And
When we're in this deep, the left lane always seems to be the one that everybody wants to finish on.
yeah, well, that makes total sense. If you're in this deep, you want to finish on the left lane.
You need me to go pick your wife up from the airport? 5.
Good thing we didn't have that position round.
Right. Oh.
Whoa,
Take
the
those
old
two first.
solid 9.
And then take this one next. Sure.
40
that
minutes
work
to the
for you?
airport from here.
All right.
40 minutes to the airport from here.
You're fine.
Solid 9 by Trae. He threw that one nice,
I'm sure she checked luggage.
high, solid flush, and there's been more 9 pins left
Well,
this
never mind
last,
then.
4 or 5 games we've watched, and there has been all day long. So, of all the bowling we've talked about and seen Trae bowl, his spare game got to be pretty good. I haven't really paid much attention, but he does use a plastic ball for it, and he seems to be pretty accurate at it. So, which is why he's a really good bowler too. He's not just a striker nothing guy. Lucas Hersrud saying, "Go Chad."
Wait a minute now. We just talked about the bet you win. Stop that.
Yeah, no, you want the other guy to win because of the bet you win money. All right, nice shot, Trae. Somehow that 9 fell that time. So to phase 5. How many people use phase 5s?
I have one.
You have one? You use it a lot? Is it pretty good?
It's all right. Not the greatest thing I've ever had.
I got a phase 2.
It's
and
got
I,
a spot.
okay, I'm
Is
still.
that my old one?
No, I got this one off the rack. You were trying to give it away. Let's just put it that way.
I'm still looking for more bowling balls. I don't know which ones I want yet and how I want them laid out and drilled yet. So I don't really have 7 bowling balls that I use, not counting the 8th spare ball. So I'm just trying to figure out what I should buy next and how I should lay it out next. I'm not sure what I want to do.
I still kind of believe that every other phase is good, so I can't wait for the phase 6.
That's exactly right.
Every phase but the 5.
Every
was
other
great.
phase.
No, one was bad.
Oh, okay.
No, Rob
Fair
Clemens,
enough.
the original phase.
He
Rob
still
Clemens,
throws it.
I know, yeah. Keep telling, what the hell is that thing?
He might be
They had it-
the only one in North America.
Yeah. Got to get rid of that.
Okay. I'll agree with you.
2 is obviously what it is.
2
Iconic.
has been great.
Iconic.
Yeah.
3?
The 4,
Some liked it.
The 4 was good, wasn't it? But wasn't that illegal?
It was
Illegal.
swaffed.
So it was good, but illegal. And then
So-
5 was over-under with the reactive loss. Personal opinion.
16-pound balls going down the lane.
You're gonna have to redo
probably
that
have to
score.
change the score.
Yeah, doesn't work here where you can. You do, Trae, I know Trae knows how to do it, but go ahead and take care of it, Jason. Tournament director is going to run right down there and fix that score. Good job by that guy.
Brisk walk.
Actually, is it on ball number 2, or did he push the reset?
I think he reset.
I guess you can't really tell. Okay, so he struck on that. I know he didn't like it, but all of a sudden there's a lot of noise
Are we sure
down.
he didn't like it?
There's a lot of noise down the lower end of the house. There's some kids bowling, and I don't want to say it bothered Chad. I don't think it did at all.
No.
But I don't think he liked that one.
No. Did you like that one, Chad? Okay. He didn't tell me if he liked it or not. He just said it was in.
So, Brian Flown, hello from Florida. What do you, cool Florida. So in other words, it's warmer up here than it is in
She got
Florida.
mine, and then
But hi, Brian. He coming up to Southway for the MSC next
Right, 'cause she
Sunday,
brought me-
Brian?
Did you want one? I said, I think they all want one, and she ignored me.
okay. Well, she brought me a beer and then charged me for it, so
Come on, Ashley.
which is fine. I'm
you,
not
Nick.
bitching about it. I just
Drive safe. Say hi to Andy or Don.
no thank you.
Good spare. Trae.
Good spare, Trae.
I wouldn't say hi to him either.
All right, so we're in the third frame, going in the fourth on the left lane for Trae. He did not like that shot he threw on that right lane, which was his worst shot I've seen him throw in a long time. Luckily, he broke up the split, got the spare. Either way, it's a tie game. Advantage Chad with a strike up. Not an advantage if you don't strike next. But,
That was pretty good.
his strikes are loud.
Well, that was fast.
Yeah, that too. Reminds me of you, except that he hooks it more.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, it's the same kind of.
So 22 is not a fun lane. Yeah. We picked up on that, but what? Well,
Yeah, who put the ball return? They do need to be. But when you were bowled in the National, I think it was in Reno, where they had the ball return off the line, that was weird.
Everybody was confused.
I never have to get that deep, so it doesn't really ever bother me. See, there's a difference, Trae. You and I don't throw the ball anywhere near the same. Good point.
Oh,
We'll
good
throw the ball
trip.
at the pins.
Yep, good
I-
trip.
I liked his answer on that. I said,
It's
we
a
don't throw the
doable
ball the same. He says, we both throw the ball at the pins.
Yeah.
So no matter how you get there,
Right. Your paths are a little different.
it's a little
but
bit different, but it still has to go in between the 1-3 pocket.
That's correct.
His, like I just said, his strike he threw on 21 is loud and hard, and I go, it reminds me of you, Matt, except he's just a lot deeper.
Yeah.
But honest to God, when he throws these strikes, I bowl next to Matt Payne
Yeah.
all day. There's some loud strikes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he said.
Yeah. Gave one a hay.
I had a couple of those, but usually it was a dead 10, light 7, 4-5, 5-6. After 5-6-10 once, right? 2 frames after a 4-5. I realized I was too deep with the wrong ball at that point. If that's a strike, this is going to be.
Yeah.
That would have been
yeah.
a lot of pressure on Trae right at that point.
And I think Trae
Yeah.
just changed. He's going to change balls. He put another ball in the rack. Oh, thank
We'll
you.
get him. Thanks, Ashley. Okay, so he said he was going to use that phase 5, and then what was the next ball that he said he was going to use?
I don't remember.
He said he started with the UFO
alert.
UFO alert.
Yeah,
He
but
might
he just went down X2 out of his bag. Oh, okay.
X2.
Yeah, RSTX2.
So he's going to use that on the right lane.
Which that's very. I mean, a lot of people compared that to like a high road pearl, so super clean. You know.
So, Brian, where are you in Florida? I'm going down to Fort Myers March 21st. Are you close there to watch the Twins play? All right, I'll see what Trae does right here.
Was that the X2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have had the X3. Oh, no, I'm just kidding on that. But
A little, probably just a little too clean. I mean, that's
it definitely,
it's
it definitely went down the lane pretty easily.
Thanks, pal.
Chad says bad rack.
That's how nice Chad is.
Yeah.
Thanks, baby.
There's probably a little bit of truth to it, though. to be
Probably.
honest.
Oh, sure.
But
And again, it might have been, and look, Trae's probably got the hand position or speed change. He'll make an adjustment off of what he saw just right there. But that is if it's normal cover and not been like sanded or anything, that's a very, very, really clean cover stock. So
sure.
could
It
it
looks
just
very
got,
shiny from here.
could
so.
it just got a little long on them and a little behind it? That was back. Wasn't that the
He certainly got out of whack right
phase 5
there.
again, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. I think the change was only for the right lane. He did not like the right lane.
So
Got it.
that tells me he's throwing the ball pretty well. He didn't like the shots he threw on 22. He changed his balls, leaves an 8-10. I think he got a little flustered and fell off the shot there on the left lane. He wasn't focused.
I was gonna say that the way that went, it's typical of a guy squeezing it.
Yes.
Trying to make a shot, and you can't squeeze it when you're a two-hander. But
Correct. But you
kind
can,
of.
you can still tense, shoulder comes down and in, and the shot comes
Sure.
in. Right. I mean
It's still squeezing
the
it.
effect the effect still happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So what Chad's going to do right now, sure he'd like to go strike, because that's just putting it away right away. He also wants to keep the ball in the pocket. 9 spares is still good.
Right.
He's not
he
going to
knows,
like
he knows now clean's good.
he's only 140 of these.
That's right where he was last time. Yeah. Oh,
Jeez. I said earlier, we've seen more 9 pins in this last 5 or 6 games, or 3 or 4 games than we've seen all day.
Right.
Especially playing that deep. Are you supposed to leave 9 playing that deep? I don't. Although I did leave one. so I did, I guess. It wasn't that deep, but I was still in for me. But the $1 million 9 pin, just pick up your spare. Well, he wasn't on the strike, so it's not as bad as not beating. It wasn't a double. So this is going to be in the pocket again, like we talked about. Just keep the ball in play. 9 spares. He's at the point where a 9 spare all the way out could possibly win this. 217 max for Trae, and Chad's at a 208 pace.
Got the 9 on that
Yeah.
time.
It was kind of like last
That was
fall,
close,
wasn't
though.
it?
It could have been a
Yes.
9 pin.
Yeah.
All right, Trae going back to the RST X2 on the right lane. I would think yes, because at least he hit the pocket.
Yep.
Would he just soften up, or would he move aboard right? What would you do?
I would expect he'd soften up a little
I was
bit.
just gonna say
That would be the,
Yeah,
that would be the thing.
My thoughts too. Oh,
And then leaves a solid 7. Wow.
I don't think
Okay.
he softened up. I think he just shoved everything in.
Yeah.
Just like what he said earlier, right? Just trying to trap it at the head pin, whatever. You're right. I think.
All right,
he
Brian.
just tried
I
to
will.
just
I'm
shove
going to
it.
buy tickets, and I think we're going to get them for both March 24th and 26th. I will get a hold of you when I get down to Fort Myers. We're talking Twins baseball spring training with Brian Flown. Sorry, I'm getting off track, but baseball season's right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers reported. I asked Matt if he's a pitcher. Did he start reporting yet?
And
He goes,
we talked about
talked
reporting.
about it. Yeah.
We never got around to it. And I said last year reporting we met at a bar.
Yeah.
So
Well, we reported it.
we reported.
I feel fine this year. That's the report.
Yep.
My arm's okay.
Yeah. Everything seems loose right now. I'm 8 beers deep, but everything seems loose now.
Okay, Trae. I don't think he's going to win this game, but I would like to see him, finish out really strong. He's throwing the ball pretty well, obviously. He did all day, and this.
A couple of bad breaks.
The third
and-
frame was a really bad shot. It's the only really bad shot he's thrown.
Yep.
Okay, that one was too.
That
Yeah.
left lane, I think, is as bad as he's thrown it on that lane. I don't know that lane's great for him for what he's trying to do on that lane.
Right.
I don't know his game enough. I haven't watched him bowl enough. I can't tell if he's rushing it, running up there, not calm. You watch Chad. He's never in a hurry.
No.
He's calm, laid back, goes through his motions, and just so he's like you just talk about. He needs to be focusing, and he's not. He's just rushing up there. He's not the only guy who's ever done that, especially somebody going for their first CBA title.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah. And you're bowling against the most prolific CBA
Right.
bowler
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
in the history of the CBA. When he would have been. When he was 49, he would have gotten it.
The wheelchair over.
Got 9 out of it. You're right. I was surprised that it got down lane 2 because it set down really short. He's just trying to. It's like he's trying to roll it at the line and just so when it picks up after it comes out the end of the pattern, just floats back to the pocket.
Right.
He's not flinging it down the lane. So 196 max for Trae.
Yep.
208 pace So
Yeah, 28
Chad,
max.
Chad would have to have if Chad was to have a 6 count split open, Trae would have a chance.
Yeah.
I can't see Chad doing that.
No. The closest he had was that last shot when he missed,
Correct.
pinched it in. He missed out.
I actually thought that was going to carry, though. Because out of everything, he had been so kind of tight flush, and there's friction to be had right now.
Yeah.
I really thought when he missed out, when it didn't overhook right away, I thought, well, I might carry light. And we haven't seen much for light.
Right.
I mean, nobody's been light swishers
I thought he was going
throughout
to miss
most of the whole step
washout.
ladder. You
Yeah.
know? So,
Want to stay at the head pin. Want to be high flush.
Do it again, Chad. Hey, it
Hey, the
might
good
not.
news is you clear this one. You don't have to clear. You don't have to score change either.
No, he does.
No, there's no
yeah,
arrows.
nobody's up.
Really? I know. Is that how that would work?
Yeah.
Wow. I learn something new every day.
I
Get
learned
there.
that Chad's really good at getting deadwood out with his
with
left
a
hand.
spare ball. Yeah, left-handed
Yeah.
left-handed
no
deadwood
thumb.
guy.
Yeah.
We're going to call him. There's a guy who works here, Doug Summers. So he's like the pinch hitter here or whatever. He's got wears a T-shirt that says "Deadwood Dougie." he gets all the deadwood on our Wednesday night league, whatever. And he runs down there faster than anybody ever has seen. So whatever Trae was doing this game, the carry was not conducive for him. The ball or the revs or the roll or whatever was not right for him on this pair. 8, 10, 10, 7 pin.
I like the thought process on 22, but it's
Yeah. Well, it just didn't
It
pay
didn't,
off.
yeah.
That's all. I mean, you make a choice, he stuck with it. That's good.
Right.
It just didn't pay off. And he made quality shots. You can't. Little loft to see if that works. Yeah.
Might have more in the right lane. Maybe it might have worked more.
Yeah.
that's tough.
You know, you can tell he's really, really frustrated, disappointed because he thought he should win.
Oh, yeah.
That's his confidence, which I really like that confidence level there. He's thinking he should have won, and he's not going to have a chance because he's going back to school here soon. Wichita State, is that where I heard
Yeah.
he was going?
Yep.
So, couldn't be a better place for a guy like that to learn.
Yeah.
That's
He's
frustration
already
right
tough to-
there.
He's already tough to beat. Now he's going to go to Wichita and learn more tricks.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
right.
Hopefully he moves away somewhere else and both. No, I'm just kidding. We want him to come back here. 171, that's not what he wanted to do, but this young man's going to be around.
Oh, yeah.
He's another one that we're going to be saying things to people like, well, he can bowl the CBA because he was a CBA member before he was a PBA
Correct.
member.
Exactly.
You know, he'll kind of be. I mean, he's not Minnesota, but we're a 5-state
Correct.
organization.
We're not
So, I mean, he's one of us, and he became one of us before he would become that. So he definitely has that path in front of him. He's destined for some good stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how you go clean 2-0 for a title.
Yeah, that's how you win number 41,
One.
2,
41, I think.
somewhere right in there. Yeah.
Only 38 behind him.
You're almost there,
I am on the doorstep.
knocking.
You're talking about he's going to be one of us. He's going to come back. Whether he goes on tour or whatever. One Mitch Hoope, who was the one who was asking all the questions about that. He can't bowl our CBA tournament because he's from Canada. We're not a 5-state plus Canada tournament,
Yeah.
whatever. So he just made the cut in wherever the last CBA or a PBA tournament, whatever. So not that we don't want to bowl against him, but he's not from around here. We can't let him bowl.
Well, and there's-
he wasn't a member before he joined the PBA.
Correct.
That's
But let's, before we get to talking about that, let's congratulate Chad Nelson on his 41st
hold on.
CBA tournament. The most prolific CBA bowler that there is. I don't know that anybody's ever going to win that many titles, mainly because all these young guys don't stay around here and bowl, and they kind of move somewhere else. Now, a guy like Zach Andreessen or even Trae to come back here after college and stay around here and bowl, yes, they could.
Go for
Depends on
sure.
what kind of jobs they have and where
Yeah.
they're going to go. And families, and if they have a bunch of kids or whatever. You know how it is, Matt.
Everything that goes into it.
Bowling, it's a secondary to all that. So,
Yep.
so all right, now, another great tournament, Jason.
Thanks.
Chad
Matt,
put
you
his
bowled
glasses
well.
on. I'm not sure what. I want to see the scores. What scores? You won.
Well, they're up there.
Yeah,
They're up
you had
there.
206. You had 171.
Yeah.
So our next tournament is the CBA, the Minnesota Team Challenge, run by the CBA. That's
Yeah.
going to be at Concord.
Yep,
And then
March
our
10th.
year end is April, what's the date? So like the 9th or 10th or something like that?
It's like the 7th, I believe it is.
Yeah,
The
whatever
6th and 7th.
Yeah, whatever
Yep.
that first full weekend
Yep.
in April is, and that's where?
Super Bowl, I want to say.
Super Bowl, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we're not going to probably do any live stream at the team.
Yeah,
challenge.
well, I won't have a chance. I actually bowl that one, so
What?
tough to. Yeah, you know that team, the Locker guys. They
Locker
bowl
guys,
that
too.
one.
They actually let you bowl.
Yeah,
Hey,
they'd like me to
I
not
got a-
bowl,
I got a
but
shirt. I can bowl.
Yep.
Guys. I got the shirt. I'm in. Oh no, my Laker team needs me. Well, they don't really need me. I just happen to be there. But anyway,
you're on the team. You
I'm
have
on
to
the
bowl
team,
for
so I
them.
get- yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we won't. There won't be a live stream next month. So look for us in 2 months at the year end. And again, I believe that's at Super Bowl.
That second full weekend in April, we'll have the roll off for the Locker Guy Bowler Decades.
Yep.
Those four guys will be rolling off. We have
Yep.
the
Barnhouse exteriors. Yep.
And then we have the
CBA director. Locker
Locker
guy
guy
shootout.
Shootout, that's what it's
Yeah,
called.
you have the bowler of the decades and,
and I also
the
have the
shootout with
whatever.
me.
So
Yep.
we have 3 different shootouts and roll-offs at the year end.
Yeah.
It's a 1-for-2 tournament. You had to
Yeah.
have 4 to qualify, so we had like a lot of people bowling these. We're going to a pretty good sized field, I believe, for the year end because there's been a lot of people that bowled
There has.
4 or more this year.
Yeah, and I think the dollar amount last year that was added was like $3,300,
I remember you
which
mentioning
was
that.
one of the highest. Well, it's the highest in the 10-ish years that I've
You've been
directed.
running it,
yeah,
exactly, yeah.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure we're pretty close. I haven't ran the numbers, but I bet we're really close to that amount. I'll have that by the time we get there.
And then
Really, you had 2 months.
and
I'll get her done.
And Brent Newman and I will have the stats all up to date by then. I haven't talked to him. I thought he was going to be here today, but he wasn't. Him and I are going back. We haven't talked for a while, but to have the stats up to date, we'll do that. What else we got?
Add 10 points to mine so I can get in the Hall of Fame.
You know,
Earn them.
if you would have won
I led qualifying. And then
if you would have won the CBA Masters instead of the Minnesota Masters, you would have had more points than that
Put
one.
the same pattern out. I could have won it.
We do, don't we? No,
I'm going to
okay.
be quiet. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, good tournament again,
Thank you.
Jason. Thanks to your daughter Allie for helping because
Yep.
she does a really good job. Get those
She did.
scores out
Yep.
quickly.
Major help.
Thanks to Sodi and
Everybody at
staff here
Classic.
at Classic.
Yep. Thanks for hosting us. And
See you guys in 2 months.
You got it. Thanks, Tom.